best side they can possibly put on the paddock, maybe with the exception of Jason Tawney.
Yeah, certainly Tawney, the only injury for the Crows. St Kilda keep them honest, a very good-looking team on the park there. I mean, the back line going so well, being the pivotal component to their win over Sydney last week. A good forward line, a complete unit, that one, in form and flying it on the top of their game. Melbourne not so, but let's hope the result's a little bit closer than it probably appears to be.
Their prime movers, Edwards, Goodwin, McLeod, Rashudo, all with fantastic records against the Demons. That man, Adelaide, is going to be very important this afternoon. They've lost frontliners, Neitz, Bruce, Green and Johnston this week. Guys like Uze and Robertson, their prodigious talents, Davey, need to stand up and be counted.
Well, that's a forward line that can win you a game of footy. It can kick 15, maybe 20 goals if they all have days out. Robertson, you would expect, needs to kick 6. Davey, maybe 4 or 5 if they're going to win this game of footy. But that is not a bad team on paper. They just all need to play well.
Adam Uze averaging 25 possessions in his last 5 games against Adelaide. He will be important. We've gone through the numbers and done an analysis similar to what Neil Danaher would have been doing over the last 6 weeks to just compare their first 12 weeks to their last 6 when everything's gone wrong. We'll start in the middle of the ground, and the first most glaring stat is clearances. They've gone from 8th to 16th, just not getting first hands on the football. That second stat, even more telling, given they handball the least in the competition. So if they're missing their targets by foot, it's very costly.
Yeah, it shows you they're just not tough enough at the contest. Clearance is an area they may be able to get on top of the Crows. They do give you a chance here. Jeff White, a key player in that department.
Their 1%ers have fallen away again, which is a bad combination when you compare it to the amount of football that they're now not getting. They're not doing the things, not working hard enough when they don't have it. And look, the results speak for themselves. Their inside 50's down, their marks inside 50, they're not hitting their targets, and as a result, no surprise, their conversion's fallen away.
None at all. I mean, those figures are terrible. The Crows lap up the 1%ers, 75 odd tackles last year. They are a team that works hard off the ball. Melbourne do need to do the same today.
Bottom line for the D's, their attack's fallen from 1st to 13th. Their defence has fallen from 6th to 15th. Major problems, as we know, that's obvious. Neil Danaher now would be looking at the positives, trying to create a positive mindset as we try to, I guess, imagine what would be on his whiteboard this week. They've been away to Queenscliff, they've trained at a different venue down at Geelong, tried to build some team unity, do things a little bit differently. What are the keys to turning it around for Melbourne this afternoon?
But you can win those sort of one-off games every year. I mean, there's one game you can win on emotion, and Jeff White, as we saw then, such a key player. He's got to get his first hand on the ball up against Hudson and Biglands. Give Maloney and those players a look at it at the stoppages.
They haven't been running hard enough, Melbourne. They're 16th in handball receives. They need to work harder in both directions, when they have the football and even when they don't.
You cannot be lazy against the Crows, otherwise they will destroy you, and you've just got to run regardless, whether you're going to get the footy or not, to create space. Players have got to come here with a mindset that it's going to be a tough 2 hours of footy.
We mentioned the 1%ers. It's important to focus on them because even if you're not winning a lot of the football yourself, you can tackle, chase, smother, do those little things that help the team effort.
Got to put the Crows under pressure when they've got the footy. If you don't, they're hitting targets. They are doing the right thing with their skills, and they will cut you up. So Melbourne's tackling, pressure, very important.
The natural tendency is to go into to worry about your own game when the confidence is low. They need to think about the bigger picture and take some risks.
As we said before, when they played Port here a month or so ago, they didn't take risks. They were very defensive. You've got to attack here, take your chances, get off to a good start. If they're not in this game by quarter time, it's good night, Dick.
This man is in fantastic form, Scott Welsh. 12 goals in the last 3 weeks. He boasts a career high against Melbourne. He booted 8 against them in round 14 last year. He'll be important again this afternoon. Adelaide and Melbourne, Saturday afternoon football next.
The mark is taken down there by Welsh. Directly in front. He's got 2. Adelaide showing no compassion for the Travellers.
Magna worked hard. Welsh in there. Put his head over the ball. Have a look at this. Welsh can come in and kick goal number 6.
Rashudo launches long. McGregor came out. No one at the back, but it falls for Welsh. Welsh gets another one. 2 goals to Welsh. 3 to the Crows.
They're so close they can taste it. Any one of them can win it. But one of these 3 won't.
Vesna, Greg, Melanie.
From 7 o'clock Sunday in the most crucial eviction yet.
Will Vesna's loudmouth get her into trouble? Will Melanie finally come out of her shell? Will Greg show his true colours?
You decide who deserves to stay and who will go.
Then Monday, a Big Brother special, the final countdown.
2 huge nights of Big Brother, Sunday and Monday.
Toyota V6 Camry Altis Auto is now just $29,988 drive away with this incredible 3, 4, 5 offer. That's 3 years free roadside assist, plus 4 years free servicing, plus a 5-year extended Toyota warranty. Toyota's special editions means an unbeatable deal on Camry Altis V6 right now.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Want more action?
What a mark.
Need more atmosphere?
Then get the widescreen experience on 10 with the latest state-of-the-art digital home theatre systems from Harvey Norman. You'll be surrounded with the ultimate range of flat-panel plasma TVs, along with Sony's theatre-in-a-box home entertainment systems. Bring the stadium to your home with front row seats to the game with this incredible widescreen experience. So get off the bench and grab a match-winning deal from Harvey Norman today.
The 2005 Toyota AFL Premiership season is proudly brought to you by our broadcast partners. Toyota. Footy. Oh, what a feeling. Carlton Draft. Harvey Norman. And Primus Telecom. Change. It's simple.
Saturday afternoon football from Amy Stadium. Beautiful day in Adelaide. Speaking of beautiful, we welcome AFL Hall of Fame legend, 403 games, 5-time best and fairest, 5-time premiership player with the Tigers. Good afternoon, Kevin Bartlett.
Good afternoon, Jason, and also a very good afternoon to Chris McDermott. Always great to be working with South Australia's greatest ever player, and also very keen to hear today in the confidence in the box that maybe Chris will be coaching Glenelg next year. Wouldn't that be fantastic for the prodigal son to return? 275 games, captain, premiership player. Be great for morale, great for spirit, great for membership, great for football in South Australia. Be fantastic to see him get the job. A 5-year plan to resurrect the mighty Glenelg back to the best. Peter Carey, we believe, could be back as ruck coach. Even Stephen Kernhan mentioned as chairman of selectors. It would be fantastic. Put the polish on young Bryce Gibbs, the best young player in the country.
I don't know what to say, Jace. How can you come in after that?
All that in one breath.
Any chance you could drop over as well, KB? Just add to that lineup?
Just on a Thursday afternoon.
So Adelaide and Melbourne, as I mentioned, it's a season-defining afternoon for the D's. They go in undermanned. They've had a big week, got away as a team unit, done things a little bit differently. A number of players in this side unquestionably playing for their careers. It'll be interesting to see what they can serve up this afternoon against this red-hot Adelaide Crows lineup. There's Shannon Motlop, big day for him, just his 3rd game for Melbourne. Was brought onto the list to replace Troy Broadbridge at the start of the season. It's an afternoon for Melbourne's senior players to stand up and really be counted. There's Brett Burton. He pushes forward, as does Ken McGregor. Perfect conditions here in Adelaide. And the Crows with the opportunity as Andrew McLeod goes to Aaron Davey to really take a stranglehold on second spot. Adelaide and Melbourne, Saturday afternoon football. Thanks for joining us right around the country. Opening bounce, Hudson versus White. Ward pushed off his kick. White got it back again. First effective disposal was a handball to Reid. Off his knee. Play on called. Adelaide get first use inside 50. It's a 3-on-3 down there. Nicholson took a swipe in midair. At ground level, wrapped up is Wheatley, taken to ground. Umpire piles in. A bounce 20 metres out from the Adelaide goal.
Once again, the Crows on song with their tackling from the first bounce. A real strength last week against Sydney. On song again here today.
Chance now for the Crows through Welsh. Handball was a bit hot for Rashudo. Phil Reid over the football for Melbourne. Dishes out a handball. Maloney tries to crash through. Henschel's got a piece of him. We'll have another bounce. We mentioned the importance of getting first hands on the football around the stoppages for Melbourne. An absolute must. They must be ferocious and vigorous at the ball this afternoon. Infringement in the ruck contest going Adelaide's way. Over the shoulder going to Ben Hudson. 55 metres out. There's McGregor at the top of the square and Perry. They scatter now. He heads in the Perry direction. 3 to beat in midair. Almost brought it down, but numbers will win out at ground level for the D's. Ferguson to Reid. They're under pressure, Melbourne. Bizzle. Now Rigoni. He flips it back to Wheatley, and they can settle from half back. Uses the ball well and finds Godfrey just inside the boundary.
First 10 minutes, so important for Melbourne. Just to settle down. Got 9 of their best players not playing today. Neitz, Johnston, Green, Bruce Jamar, McDonald, Rivers, Sylvia, Whelan, all in their best side. This is going to be a big afternoon for Melbourne as the ball floats over the line for a boundary throw-in.
You're already playing a little defensively too, Melbourne. An extra player up on the footy, leaving Ben Rutten or Ben Hart for the Crows loose in defence. and that normally spells trouble for opposition teams. The Crows will carve you up out of defence if you let some player run loose.
8 players also in Melbourne's lineup today who have not kicked a goal this year. Chance for Matner. Take 2, across half back. Spears the ball in. Chipping in and taking the mark is Bell. Marks in front of Burton. Philip Reid, a couple of early touches, and also good to see Godfrey gets his hands on the ball as well. A couple of tough nuts. Here's Uze, skipper today, around the corner, looking for Miller. Might have been manhandled by Bock on 50. Rockets ball across to Motlop. Stands and kicks a goal. What a start for the Demons.
Nice throw. Whoops.
There it is.
Are you guys okay?
Classic.
Shannon Motlop, extensive time with North Adelaide during his career, and that was a classy finish off a step. Great start for the D's.
We did say, Jason, they had 8 players hadn't kicked a goal this year. Now they've got 7.
Motlop played back in rounds 5 and 6, gets his chance this afternoon. As we mentioned, there'll be plenty of hungry Demons out there this afternoon. Many of them would see this as maybe a last opportunity to salvage a career at senior level after spending much of the season at Sandringham, Melbourne's VFL affiliate side. White and Hudson again. Rigoni, kick smothered off his boot. Hudson got it back. Pumps it inside 50. Up goes Bell. Couldn't bring it down. Perry at ground level lurking. Wants to get on the left. Was it a throw? Umpire called play. Oh no, he called a throw in the end. He spotted it. The double movement from Ken McGregor. And it'll come back again. Melbourne ferocious and with numbers at the contest. A good sign early.
Yeah, absolutely. Melbourne can't take any time to get into this game. Have to be on song from the first bounce. They've started okay. They needed the first couple of goals. They've got the first one. So things going along okay at the moment.
Nicholson. Out to Holland. Now Davey. The D's look to work it off half back through Jeff White. Hudson sets himself to make it a 2-on-1 against Miller. It spills to the front of the contest. Here's Matner onto that breaking left boot. Spears to half forward, but it's picked off by Nathan Brown. Important inclusion back in the side after a virus saw him miss last week. Brown to Nicholson at defensive 50. Can chip it over the top down the line. Some good run early from Melbourne. They're running to create for each other. It's been lacking in the last 6 weeks. Rigoni. And again, they had a player in space. It was Bell who'd worked hard from defensive 50. The kick just wasn't the scratch.
And that's what you said in the pre-match, Jace. They've got to hit their targets, Melbourne. Got some running, but you've got to find your targets to cut Adelaide or carve Adelaide up. Melbourne just missing a couple early, but getting plenty of the ball.
Jeff White from behind. Hudson playing in front. Big pack of players. It's a better Melbourne opening than we saw last time they played against Port Adelaide, because that day there was no run whatsoever, Chris.
No, you're right, KB. It all dried up very early for Melbourne last time. Started okay here.
Hudson does well. Hammers the ball back towards centre half forward. Ferguson from behind goes the big fist. It's going to be a big afternoon for Ferguson. Also Nicholson. There's Bizzle. Bumped off the ball. Boundary throw in.
What Melbourne have to do, though, is make every touch count. Getting plenty of the footy at the moment. 23 touches, Adelaide only 7. So dominating in field play. It's got to result on the scoreboard.
Henschel seemed to be a little bit winded. Hudson again works his way to the front. What a surprise packet here's been. Bell down towards Wall, just tickles the ball along the boundary line. Melbourne going in very hard. Thompson against his old side, crunched that time by Philip Reid. Some fierce tackling by Melbourne. Let's go to Glenn Manton.
Thanks, KB. Well, I'm watching carefully the Adelaide backline. Obviously, if they can keep Russell Robinson under wraps today, they'll have a good chance of taking away the game. But conversely, if they overemphasise Russell Robinson's appearance and his demeanour on the field, they have a chance of maybe allowing some other Melbourne forwards into the game. So it's a very tenuous balance.
What about the breeze down at ground level, Glenn?
Teams can score freely at either end. We saw that in the lead-up game today. A good kick is a good kick on this particular ground and in the conditions today.
Melbourne kicking with the breeze also in this first term. Just hacked out of the air. Here's Godfrey, happy to take the ball over for a boundary throw-in.
Just 9 possessions in the opening 7 minutes would please Neil Danaher for Adelaide, and even more than that, the fact that not one of those possessions has been uncontested as yet. Every time Adelaide got near the football, there's been numbers around them.
Now, spoke about the 1%ers pre-match. Melbourne holding up okay early, but they've got to do it for the full 4 quarters.
Hudson into open space for Goodwin to run onto. Gathers inside the line. Back on the right. Kicks towards the top of the goal square. Chance here. Ferguson, great grab. Ferguson back with the flight. Takes a beauty. Maloney breaks hard to the outer side. Ferguson will come inboard to the commentary side and find Daniel Bell. Bell will go short. Here's Simon Godfrey.
This is where they've got to be quick, Melbourne. Can't afford to get held up across half-back. It happened against Port Adelaide and they got carved up. Need some runners, need some quick movement of the footy out of defence.
A little static in this particular foray. Simon Godfrey back in the side, was dropped back in round 12. Gets his chance this afternoon as Brown goes short to Ferguson. This sort of stop-start football, not what the Demons are looking for. Having said that, they have controlled much of the play early in the opening turn, but for only one inside 50 to this point in time. Fortunately for them, it resulted in a goal to the wing. Miller illegally dealt with, and he'll take a free kick.
I think there's some good early signs here for Melbourne, Chris. Going in hard for the ball, playing with some confidence, maintaining possession.
Just numbers at the contest has been pleasing from Neil Danaher's perspective, I'm sure. Miller to 50. Robertson went looking for a free kick to the back. Leaves Davey in his wake. What can the champ set up here? He'll kick it into open space for Riley to run onto. It was a beautifully weighted kick. He's got Mattner over the top. The Crows away. Motlop chasing hard, did well to force the error and force that kick wide. That was a great piece of work from Shannon Motlop.
It's the problem with Melbourne, though. They take all that time to get the ball into their forward line. If they miss the target and don't hit their kicks, the Crows' transition is very quick to the other end. Martin Mattner with plenty of touches early, 3 kicks, just not finding his targets either. So the Crows taking a while to settle here at Amy.
Wide over the top of Hudson. Illegally. No free kick off the ball, out of the ruck contest, going the way of Melbourne for a hold. It's going to Guy Rigoni. Played the first 6 games of the season in the seniors, hasn't played since. Chance for him as well this afternoon. Holland, one-on-one with Rutten. Tries to keep it alive. Miller versus Bock. We'll have a throw in on the outer side. The D's by a goal. We've played 9 minutes on Saturday afternoon football at Amy Stadium. Here's Kevin Bartlett.
Well, it's been a terrible 6 weeks for Melbourne. Have to go back to Collingwood in round 12 for their last win. They've lost the last 6 games. The Crows, of course, are hot. They won 6 on the trot. Melbourne doing well in the opening 10 minutes of this first term. And we've got a baller on centre wing. Shannon Motlop. Stick the first goal of the game for Demons. His first goal for the season. Came onto the Melbourne list after the sadness of Troy Broadbridge. And we see Daniel Ward just running the ball across the line. 12.5 minutes left in this first term. You can see there the red alert Melbourne, last 8 tackles. Hudson works his way to the front. Taken away by Rigoni, one of their tough nuts in close. Something Melbourne's been lacking. Uze, closely checked that time by Hart. They've got a boundary thrown, but it's on 50 for Melbourne.
Like their matchups early, 2KB got Rigoni on Rashudo, and Rigoni having the better of that with 7 touches at the moment. Rue hardly had his hand on the ball only once. Godfrey on Goodwin and Brown on Edwards, all in Melbourne's favour early stages.
Well, Rashudo just a handful of touches last week against Brett Kirk. There's been some talk that he hasn't been well. Here's Rashudo, speak of the devil, big fist away. Sees it over the line for a toss back in.
Yeah, he's definitely had the flu the last couple of weeks. Brett Kirk does a good job on him time and time again, and certainly had the better of Mark Rashudo last week. But his form and his influence on this team can't be understated. Champion player, he will bounce back.
Adelaide a pretty good starting side, so this is a great result for Melbourne early. Only kicked 1 goal themselves, but they haven't been blown away from the start. And with that will come confidence and belief as Rigoni goes to the top of the square. Chance now at 2-on-2. Holland working hard is Bassett. Holland piles in over the top. Will have a bounce 2 metres out from the Melbourne goal. It's been heavy work going forward for them. But having said that, when they're controlling the football, it means Adelaide aren't.
No doubt about it. Nothing wrong with an ugly performance here today from Melbourne. Move the ball forward. Just got to make the most of every scoring opportunity, and they've got one now.
Burton and Hudson. Fist it through for or a minor score to the D's. They're 1-1. Adelaide yet to score. Played 12 minutes in the opening term. Possessions 36-14 in favour of the D's. It's Burton from half-back to Hart. It was a beautifully weighted kick. Need to play on and has to now. Got away from Bell. Broke 2 tackles far too easily. Hart to half forward. It was a beautiful kick. Found Perry. Exquisite football from Ben Hart. Rashudo calls for it. Off a step from 55. Pushing back is Welsh to the top of the square. One-on-one with Wheatley. At ground level numbers with Melbourne. White to Bizzle. Bizzle out to Holland, and he's got it at half-back. Burton slapped it away. Will it be 50? It will. Yep. Here's a chance for Melbourne. On the fast break, as it were, to get the ball down the ground quickly before Adelaide get a chance to get some numbers back. Holland with no urgency whatsoever, however.
You speak about unrewarded running too, Jace. This is where it's got to happen. Players have got to run, create some space for Melbourne's forward line. Their on ball is key here, but look at Melbourne. Everybody just standing around, no movement at all. That is a worry.
Not one player worked hard to get back or get into space then, which is disappointing from a Melbourne perspective. Inside 50, Bassett to McLeod. Now Edwards on his 29th birthday. Out in front of Riley, one-on-one with Motlop. Plenty of skill and pace in this contest. Motlop took him down when he realised he was going to be done. Gave away the free kick. Motlop was losing his feet. Professional free kick in a way, because Riley would have been away, Motlop would have been stranded.
Good work from Shannon Motlop. Big day for Brett Riley today. Hasn't had a lot of footy over the last couple of weeks. Michael Dowdy's been preferred across half-back. So he starts the game today, an important game for him.
Riley down the line. McLeod works into open space. Looks good early, Andrew McLeod. Kick towards Perry, he gathered it. He turned Nicholson inside out, was always going to go onto his left boot. Inside 50, Welsh the crumb, through a tackle, onto his left, spears it up, looking for a target, but missing it, and finding Holland. Now Melbourne a chance to counter-punch. Brown from centre-half back, goes looking for Uze, finds him on centre wing. He'll want to move it quickly. He's got Davey working forward of the football. Kick goes in his direction. He's met solidly by Rutten coming the other way, and now Adelaide with numbers there. Bock in support to Hart on centre wing. Looks up, spots a target. Awkward one there for McGregor. Steaming through as McLean was taken high. Umpire was blindsided. Didn't see the arm over the shoulder and calls for the bounce.
1-1-7 the Demons. The Crows yet to score. Played 14.5 minutes into this opening term. So it's been a good start by Melbourne. They have been decimated with injuries. They've lost their past 6 games. The Crows are just about the hottest side in the competition. They won 6 on the trot. And Brock McLean runs hard onto the ball. Runs to 50 for Melbourne. Penetrating kick. Good play by Robertson. Maybe a bit of magic. Squeezed up on the boundary line. Can't keep it alive. Puts it out on the full. Crows keen to get that ball moving quickly. Bassett to McLeod. Gets the ball across to Goodwin. Hammers the ball wide. Running with the ball is Rutten. He's got Motlop to beat. Applying plenty of pressure. Motlop, a goal kicker in this first term. Good support from Matner. Runs with the ball, tucks it under the arm. The run comes from Riley. The young kid down from half-back goes wide. He's looking for Perry, and Nicholson bowls him over into the express post. They mean business, Chris.
Well, they need to mean business too, KB. Season on the line for Melbourne.
They've come to play the Demons today. They've had their detractors, but they're flexing the muscles, blowing up the biceps. They're going to have a crack today at the mighty Adelaide Crows. Boundary throw in on 50. Jeff White pushing and shoving, trying to work his way to the front. Beaten that time by Biglands. He's given away the free. On the shoulder. Biglands started on the bench. Gives Hudson a breather. From outside 50, he's a penetrating kick. He's a big kick. It's a big bomb. It's a great kick. It's a great goal.
Stand by. Here's something that sounds really good. Free. But what could sound better? Free. Yes, with the iPrimus broadband bundle of joy you get. Broadband modem free. Plus right now a free 2.4 GHz Star cordless phone. But wait, yes, there is more. $0 broadband setup. Just bundle your home phone with iPrimus broadband, and you're free. Call Primus now and let's get better connected. Yeah, baby.
Brett Biglands on the board for Adelaide. Melbourne 1-1, the Crows 1 straight. We played 16 and a half minutes. It's an entertaining contest.
It's been an important player the last couple of weeks. Rhett Bigland's been. Hudson's been the #1 ruckman all year. But as he begins to tire after a long season, Rhett Biglands becomes a vital player for the Adelaide Football Club.
Back in the middle. Biglands goes again against White. Here's McLean. Will be important this afternoon. Got a kick in open space, but it was Matner to tidy up. Pumps it out wide. Here's Biglands working off Jeff White again. The bounce sits for the big man. He looks up. He's got McGregor leading wide. Heads in that direction. One-on-one with Ferguson. Ferguson got the fist away. Free kick over the shoulder against the Demon. Going to Ken McGregor. He's been the X-factor in this forward line this season. Booting 17 goals, but just a workhorse at centre-half forward. Averaging 12 possessions, 5 marks a game.
Just does the job, Kenny McGregor. Gets to the front, presents all the time, takes the contested mark and doesn't waste the footy.
Gives it off to Matner, who can go the journey from outside 50. Loads it up. Launches a bomb, but misses to the left-hand side. Smart thinking from Matner to present himself, and also from McGregor to know his limitations and dish it off. 1-1 apiece, 18 minutes gone. Good game of footy on Saturday afternoon at Amy Stadium in Adelaide. D's go short to the back pocket and find Daniel Bell. Kick coming from Wheatley. Bell now to Nathan Brown, called to play on. Not the required distance, it'll come back to Bell. Recruited from Glenelg originally, back in his home state. And here's Stephen Armstrong, playing game number 3 for the season. Another of these players desperate to make the most of a rare senior opportunity this afternoon. Armstrong, high towards the wing. Bock got rid of his man Miller. Umpire said illegally. Nathan Bock not happy. Miller with the football, smack bang on the wing, outer side of the ground. Looks inboard, spots a target, it's Ward. He receives, plays on. Overlap run now from Bell. Bell, run down, magnificent tackle. Turnover comes, it was great work from Downey. Hart the beneficiary. Centre-half forward out on the lead is Welsh. No one inside 50 for Adelaide. Charge of the Light Brigade now as they all go streaming back inside. McLeod works hard to get off his man. Kick just missed its target. Nicholson links up with White. Under pressure, bangs it on the boot in a hurry. Awkward bounce for Armstrong. Opens the door for Adelaide. Here's Biglands. Goes to the pocket and finds a target in McGregor. He'll play on, go bang, and kick another.
Go the Crows! Go the Magpies!
Go the Rooster.
Red Rooster's Footy Feast. Buy a quarter-time meal or full-time meal and you could win a package for 4 to the 2005 AFL Grand Final. Only at Red Rooster.
Don't wait! New Echo Rush comes with special editions, including alloy wheels, fog lamps, front power windows and 3 years roadside assist, saving over $1,800.
Oh, what a feeling! Toyota.
Crows by 6 points, 2-1-13. The Demons 1-1-7. Jeff White's off for a breather. Paul Johnson, the young man, has sprinted to the centre circle, ready to strut his stuff.
That means crunch time, KB, for Melbourne. They're under siege at the moment. Character now.
Johnson gets his hands on the ball. That'd be good for his confidence. Brock McLean trying to tickle the ball. Here's Miller. Now the whistle has gone. Motlop has got the free kick. Premiership player with the Kangaroos. Gets a second chance at AFL football, goes wide, looking for Holland, second grab. Didn't quite get the opportunity. Rutten's very good at full-back. Matner's been a star in this first term, goes wide. Beautiful one-hander that time by Tyson Edwards. They stand and applaud at Amy Stadium, kicks a high ball, out comes Welsh. Been a star of recent weeks. Chance now for Bizzles, a look-away handball, gets good support from McLean. Nathan Brown comes away from half-back. Time to go for a trot. 3 bounces, just weighs up the options, goes short, finds Maloney, still camped on centre wing. Melbourne players pleading for the ball. Here's a chance, McLean, and Godfrey stands on 50. Long bomb to the square, got him in his sights. Couldn't quite take the ball, that time was Robinson, quick to recover. Now, Mr. Magic, Davey rockets the ball back, looking for Motlop, a 360. Didn't quite get his boot to the ball, he's been pinged. Some great tackling by the Crows. Henschel. Deep in defence, goes wide, finds Doherty. Looking for the run. Bock. Down from centre half back, just steps around Maloney. Beautiful kick, finds McGregor, rockets the ball wide. Chance now from Skipworth, goes wide. Nicholson went the big punch for Melbourne. Desperate in close on 50. Plenty of bodies on the line, and we've got a ball up. 2-1-13, the Crows. Melbourne 1-1-7. Brett Burton on screen. Skipworth puts his body on the line. Wrapped up in the tackle that time by Johnson. And again, a ball up 45 metres out from the Crows' goal.
Big 4 minutes remaining in the opening term. Adelaide up the tempo as we hit time on in this quarter. Bounce inside 50 for the Crows. Johnson in the ruck. Fisted it clear towards Godfrey. He's taken to ground. McLean likewise by Welsh. He'll have a throw in. Good physical pressure at the ball from both sides in this opening term. The D striving to maintain the ferocity as Adelaide look to up the ante. Bigland's got rid of his man. Down to Rashudo was beautiful ruck work towards the top of the square. Dangerous position, punched away by Bisley. He had the best position in that contest. And won himself a free kick. This is where Melbourne need to run hard. Maybe just fatigued a little bit late in this opening term. The creative running's just dried up a little bit in the last 7 or 8 minutes, Chris.
Absolutely, and that's where you talk about taking risks. At some stage, Melbourne have got to roll the dice and gamble. If it doesn't come off and they lose the game, so be it. But at some stage, they've got to break the shackles, Melbourne. A little hesitant early.
Ward looks to run and carry. Option wasn't a good one. It was Holland versus 2. And Rutten took the mark. Adelaide will pump it forward yet again. Melbourne defence under siege. Perry's the target. Here he comes on the lead. That is magnificent. Ben Rutten spears it onto the chest of Ian Perry. Perry will go back from right on 50 with a chance to boot Adelaide's third.
They're screaming for Ben Rutten to be the All-Australian fullback. Had an outstanding season. Part of his game that probably doesn't get enough recognition is his use of the ball. Rarely does he waste it. Ian Perry on the lead, lace out. And the Crows just starting to crank it up.
It's been a 50-50 proposition in front of goal this year, booted 25-24 from outside 50. Tugs it right, going for distance. It's still there, it's right to the line. Johnson and Wheatley concede. Two and 3/4 minutes remaining in the opening term as Wheatley goes out wide, had a man in space and uses him. It's Bell. Been prominent in the opening term. That's a better kick. Finds Holland on centre wing. This is where they need to move it quickly and not hold it up.
Yep, the camera doesn't show it just yet, but Ben Hart's the player for the Crows, loose in defence, blocking it up for Melbourne. No targets up forward, left to chip the ball around the place. Neil Danaher's got to address his structure.
Uze and Brown wax, back to Uze. That's a beautiful kick through the zone. Poked a hole in it and found Godfrey. He looks up, confronted with a similar problem, goes to Miller. It was a good lead, and that's the sort of hard running we're talking about, to just break out of the zone, provide an option. Miller inside 50, over the back of the contest. Robertson comes steaming out, collects a couple. Bassett run down by Davey. Goodwin, slick hands to Edwards. Too slick for Doughty. Here's Rashudo on the end of it. Now to McLeod. He'll kick long towards Welsh versus Wheatley. One-on-one. No one behind them at all. Welsh gathers, dishes it off. Chance for the Crows. Riley back to Welsh. Flying snap from 40 metres out. Misses. Exciting build-up from Adelaide. Welsh couldn't quite finish it off. And the Crows by 8 points. 25.5 minutes gone, opening term. Here's Glen Mountain, Boundary side.
Well, Chris spoke of the zoning off that was taking place in the Crows' backline, and it is zoning off directly on Adamouze. But strangely, it seems like Adamouze is unaware of his spatial awareness. He really seems to be struggling to get into this game.
Demons, they trail by 8 points. 2-3-15 to 1-1-7. Working the ball towards the boundary line. Matten has been such a good player in this first term. Uze trying to keep the ball alive. Takes it over. Boundary throw in.
Structure just doesn't look right for Melbourne at the moment. All their attackers were in a huddle at the top of the 50-metre arc. Got to spread the Crows' defence at the moment. You keep it in a huddle, you play into the Crows' hands, and they will cut you up.
70 metres out from Adelaide's goal. Uze tumbles the ball along the boundary line. The Crows are peeling then for a free kick. whether they thought it was out of bounds on the full or whether they thought it came off the boot of Motlop. It's on centre wing.
Off the knee.
Biglands to do the ruck work, some pushing and shoving with Johnson. Got his hands on the ball, Motlop. Quick kick. Was clever play inside 50 for the Demons. Robinson playing in front. Coming off 6 goals last week against the Saints. Kick 36 for the season. Holland wraps up Bassett. It's been a terrific defence this year for Adelaide. Bassett and Bock and Rutten have been so good. Armstrong. Just his 3rd game for the season. Looking for Miller. The big fist away that time came from Bassett. Uze, quick hands. Motlop from 35 metres out around the corner.
Oh, great kick.
He's kicked a goal. He's got 2. That was magic.
Incredible, but true. Harvey Norman's price breakthrough. This is hot. Brand new compact notebook for an amazing $9.84 after cashback. That's right, this is the hottest deal in town. A brand new compact notebook for an incredibly low $9.84 after cashback. Or this red hot Olympus digital SLR camera at an amazing $9.99. Buy what the professionals use for only $9.99. Save $352. Get into Harvey Norman now for the hottest deals in town. Don't miss out. And remember, we won't be beaten on price.
Been speaking about taking your chances. Well, Shannon Motlops has taken a half chance and converted for Melbourne. Big goal in the context of the game. Margin back to 2 points. And the D's would be elated with that. Some reward for some hard work. Good one. Handball partly smothered. 20 seconds remaining. Skipworth tries to crash through, taken down. Great opening term of football here at Amy Stadium. We arrived today not really sure what to expect. Form heavily favouring Adelaide. Good test of the Demons' character and club culture, and so far they're passing that test.
Absolutely have shown great character in the first quarter. It's now about maintaining it for 4, but plenty of encouraging signs for Neil Danaher.
Biglands into space, danger. Rashudo, good one on the run. 4 seconds remaining, opportunity goes begging to the left. Quarter time at Amy Stadium, a great quarter of football. Entertaining opening 29 minutes. And the Crows will head to the first break with a slender lead. They're 2-4-16. Melbourne 2-1-13. The goal kickers McGregor and Biglands for Adelaide, while Motlop has 2 for the D's. Saturday afternoon football from Amy Stadium. Don't go away. Second quarter coming at you next.
This is the world through the eyes of Charlie, a mathematical genius with the ability to add up clues his detective brother can't.
Right, all right, hold on. You know I got like a C in physics.
Don's the kind of cop who loves a challenge and never gives up.
I don't think you realize how hard you push yourself.
Add these 2 brothers together, and you've got one powerful duo.
Charlie, you're saying you can tell us where the killer lives?
Yeah. Coming to Mondays. People lie. Numbers don't.
You know, I don't know how I got in a situation where I need your help to do my job.
Hollywood heavyweights Tony and Ridley Scott bring you the biggest drama to premiere in the States this year.
The captivating new series, Numbers, coming to Mondays on 10.
Go the Crows! Go the Magpies!
Go the Rooster.
Red Rooster's Footy Feast. Buy a quarter-time meal or full-time meal and you could win a package for 4 to the 2005 AFL Grand Final. Only at Red Rooster.
Booze Brothers. Beat the others cold.
Call in to save on any 2 of these for just $50. Valentine Scotch, Canadian Club, Beefeater Gin, Finlandia Vodka, Kahlua and Jewel Scotch, plus get a bonus 2-litre Coke and 2 Crows or Port Power glasses. And Gradberry 5-litre casks only $18.50 a twin pack. Or Cascade Premium Lager just $42.99 a carton with 2 bonus glasses. See the web for more great offers.
Booze Brothers. Beat the others cold.
There are 17 good reasons for shopping at Truscott's. 17 months with no deposit, no repayments, no interest terms. That's 17 good reasons for buying an Acer 81cm LCD TV for only $21.95. 17 reasons for buying a JVC 76cm TV with DVD and cabinet at $300 off. And 17 reasons for buying a Pioneer 600-watt home theatre package for only $6.99. Truscott's can give you 17 good reasons for buying now. 17 months with no deposit, no repayments, no interest terms. Truscott's.
You want anything from the shops?
No, thanks.
Yeah,
Very popular too if you're celebrating Ford's 80th anniversary in Australia with Falcon Mark II XT, winner of Australia's Best Family Car Award, with auto and edges $31,990 drive away. Only for a limited time and only at your Ford dealer.
The ground will pound when the monster trucks bound into Adelaide Entertainment Centre Sunday, August 21. Jump Mania, the ultimate USA versus Australia big wheel, big horsepower super test. Aussie favourite Samson, Tropical Thunder, that bucking Bronco Outback Thunder, plus the very first appearance of US Super Truck Monster Patrol with Yankee legend Chuck Miller. There's Junior Trucks, Laser Light Show and Utterly Awesome Freestyle with female flyer Scary Mary Perkins. USA versus Australia Monster Truck matchup. Jump Mania, Adelaide Entertainment Centre Sunday, August 21. Book through Bass now.
Network 10 Adelaide would like to acknowledge the support of their 2005 local AFL sponsors, Truscott's and Toshiba, the Plasma, LCD and surround sound specialists. Booze Brothers, proudly South Australian owned. And Stratco, what do you need today?
Suggested the D's needed to focus on their 1% as they did. 15 tackles to 10 in the opening term, and they are in this ball game. Adelaide 2-4, Melbourne 2-1. Bigland and McGregor, the goal kickers for Adelaide. Motlop has 2 in just his 3rd game for the D's, and his 1st since round 6. Entertaining game of football as we head boundary side. Here's Glenn Manton.
Thank you, Jason. Well, I spent the first quarter, if you like, focusing on the Adelaide backline, and I wanted to focus then during the quarter-time break on Neil Danaher. What has he got planned for that Adelaide backline going into the second quarter? And he didn't disappoint. He spent a lot of time talking with Russell Robinson, and he is the RR of the day, or the Rolls Royce. And you'd imagine that he was telling Russell that his focus has to be to continually draw the space and the time away from the Adelaide defenders. Don't be surprised if Melbourne continues to pop up with 2 or 3 other alternate goal kickers throughout the game other than Russell Robinson.
We'll get more from Chris McDermott on the use of Russell Robertson shortly. Before we do, there's one other game of round 19 action on this afternoon at the MCG between the Bulldogs and West Coast. Replays coming up later tonight on Fox Footy, so if you don't want to know the score, look away now. Interesting, Glenn Manton mentioned Russell Robertson and his use. We were talking about it during the break as well, Chris. The use of Robertson and Ben Holland. Robertson, the guy starting in the goal square, streaming out and busting the packs open, and Holland being the one who's doing the work around 50.
Yeah, Neil Danaher got to reverse those 2 roles. It's playing into the Crows' hands, having Nathan Bassett and Russell Robertson working out of the goal square. Surely Ben Holland's got to be that crash and bash player. Bring the ball to the ground. Let Robertson work into space and try and run Nathan Bassett off his legs. I mean, he can be led to the footy, Nathan Bassett, and Melbourne just need to restructure their forward line of fraction.
Great opening term from the D's, entertaining from the Crows as well as we start the second quarter. Saturday afternoon football at Amy Stadium. Hudson dispossessed. Reid went off the deck, got it towards 50. Here is Holland, one-on-one with Rutten. Coming in was Miller. It was an important Shepherd. Opened up the door. Holland had no one to go to. Handballed, had to go back himself. Bock beat him to the football and took it to the line.
Benny Holland not blessed with leg speed. We saw Nathan Bock there just run past him after a beautiful Shepherd from Brad Miller. Absolute beauty. But he's going to get shown up for pace, Ben Holland. Got to work his way back to the goal square. Again, an important 1%er there for Melbourne, lifting their work rate on that area this afternoon. Reid lays a tackle on Burton, affected the kick towards the wing. Tidy gather from Riley. Handball, gave it up. Armstrong through traffic, under pressure. Tackle from Shirley on Bell. Ball spills to Bizzle. Links up with Ferguson. Good support from the youngster. Kick out wide. Godfrey had it and dropped it. Lets Mattner in the door. Mattner now back to Burton. Sells the dummy. Buys himself some space. Goes for a run to break the lines. Searching kick towards 50. Perry's his target. Clears he and Nicholson. Wheatley at the back, one-on-one, taken down by Welsh when not in possession. And Paul Wheatley will get a free kick. Melbourne leading the possession count, 91-72. That's a shocking kick. McGregor
Chance to go again for Adelaide, inside 50. To the pocket, Perry's got away. Another costly turnover for the D's. Tough kick from here for Perry.
We'll go head of the square. Although Jeff White's dropped back there, so good work from White to just block that option from Ian Perry.
John Cock leads to the pocket. McGregor gets back, as does Hudson. Now some tall timber in the goal square for Adelaide. Ian Perry, tough from here. Doesn't want to kick it. Umpire calls him now to release the football. And it'll be 50 against the Melbourne player, Alistair Nicholson. Well, that's unfortunate because Perry looked like he was going to play on and be called to play on. Nicholson's come over the mark. The umpire officially hasn't played on, even though he's given Perry the hurry-up. And Alistair Nicholson can consider himself extremely unlucky.
Certainly can. It appeared that the umpire had gestured play on.
He gave him the hurry-up. He said, you've got to move it now without technically lifting the hands and saying playing on. But, gee, that's tough.
Tough call, no doubt. Certain goal to the Crows. Ideal start to the second quarter. Ian Perry will not miss from here. And, well, bad break for Melbourne.
Somewhat baffling decision, and Perry makes the most of it. Adelaide get the first goal of the second term.
He thinks he's caught the right sicko.
What is this?
It's what he finds exciting.
But for the first time, he's not even close.
911, what is your emergency?
She's not breathing.
All new at 8:30.
Can this clever killer outsmart Detective Gorin?
I doubt that.
Double the chase.
Double the thrills.
Double the intent.
There's something missing. I'll find it.
And that's what makes Gorin so addictive to watch. A new Criminal Intent, 8:30 Sunday.
There we see the umpire penalising 50 metres there with Alistair Nicholson.
Perry had a lot of time to get rid of that football.
Well, he gave him the first warning, which the umpires do, and Alistair Nicholson has made a mistake on the first warning by running over the mark because he hasn't called play on. Here's a chance for McLean for the Demons. Tumbles the ball towards the half-forward line. They've got the numbers, the Crows. Here's a chance. Lucky bounce there for Holland. Can't keep the ball alive. It was a hurried kick. Puts it over the line on the full.
Well, he won the footy, Ben Holland, there, but I think it showed what we were talking about. Got led to the footy by Ben Rutten. That's a problem for Melbourne. They need to address Ben Holland's role in this game. He's got one, but it's not so far away from goal.
Crows by 9 points, 3-4-22. The Demons 2-13. Riley between the back pocket and half-back flank. Young man, a former NAB Rising Star nominee, goes wide. And Risciuto sees the ball over the line. 6 possessions to Risciuto, 8 to Matner, 6 also to Riley. McLeod's got it 5 times. Rigoni 9, along with Bell, leading possession winners for Melbourne. Uze 7 and 6 to Brown and Godfrey. On the Melbourne half-forward line, there's a chance for Hudson. Here's Godfrey putting his body on the line, does well. Just shuffles past Risciuto. The kick was a poor one, taken by Hudson. He'll share the ball around Shirley. Squeezed up on the boundary line. And again, the ball is out on the full. Just can't keep the ball alive. Some good hassling by Melbourne. Nathan Brown is on centre wing. Just waiting for the options. Goes short. Finds Brock McLean, one of their young guns.
Gee, just so static for Melbourne. I mean, just nobody working hard enough into space. They're forced to chip the ball around. The Crows with numbers back inside. Melbourne's attacking 50.
Rigoni was just caught in 2 minds, didn't hit a target. That's where Melbourne has made some mistakes. First quarter and a bit. Tyson Edwards tried to push off that time. Jeff White, good strong tackle. And again, forced over the line is Shirley. (3-4-22) the Crows, 2-13 Melbourne. It's an arm wrestle. Now, the whistle is gone. There's a free kick. It's against Risciuto. Holding Rigoni. Umpire Simon Meredith with the eagle eye. Inside 50. Hart with those quick hands finds Bassett, and once more playing along the boundary line. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of spark, the Crows too. A very physical game against Sydney last week. 75-80 tackles. Certainly took a lot out of them. An easier week on the track. Certainly taking their time to work into this game, looking just a fraction flat.
Robertson just the 2 possessions. Need to do something to get him into the game structurally. White off a step. High ball towards half forward. Miller bounces past that contest. Uze gets rid of his man. Riley links up with Goodwin. Flips it over the top. Bock hemmed in on the boundary line. Punches it down the line. Over the top came McGregor. Free kick. Holding in the contest. Going the way of Adelaide, and it's coming back to Brett Burton. Starting to get involved. Fourth possession for him coming up. Open space for Johncock at half forward. Looks up. Punts it high inside 50. Wheatley against Welsh. Clears the contest. Wheatley at the back will get there first and rush it through for a minor score. Graham Johncock's first possession. Been out there for 7 minutes. Didn't the crowd lift when he got near the football? Wheatley. Well-weighted kick finds Ferguson outside defensive 50, and he's got Bell down the line. Uses him now. Been impressive, Bell. 10th touch coming up. And that was a tidy one. Brock McLean made to earn it by Brett Burton. Won't worry Brock too much. Loves it physical. The nephew of former Richmond and Carlton strongman Ricky McLean. Thumps it long towards half forward off the hands of Miller and Motlop. Finds the line for another throw in.
Yeah, they can let it sit for a while, Melbourne, but sooner or later something has to happen at centre half forward. Brad Miller not having a major influence. Ben Holland we've spoken about. Something's got to happen with the way they're moving the ball.
White and Hudson down to McLean. Quick kick off a step inside 50. Tracking back with a fly to the ball was Riley and Motlop. Bassett sees it to the line for yet another throw in. Stalemate at the moment. There's the Adelaide bench as we head boundary side to Glenn Manton.
Well, the general public just couldn't appreciate Nathan Bassett in that instance. He left his man with about 10 metres on him, attacking the ball, taking it out of bounds. True great full-back play.
Hudson and Holland. Rigoni lurking with intent. Rutten. String of handballs in the direction of Shirley. Robertson spun through and took possession. Now to Motlop, to Godfrey at 50. Not the required distance. Takes Burton on his left boot. Simon Godfrey kicks a goal!
Stand by. Here's something that sounds really good. Free. But what could sound better? Free. Yes, with the A Primus broadband bundle of joy you get. Broadband modem free. Plus right now a free 2.4 GHz stereo cordless phone. But wait, yes, there is more. $0 broadband setup. Just bundle your home phone with iPrimus broadband, and you're free. Call Primus now and let's get better connected. Yeah, baby.
It is an important game for Melbourne. Their season is on the line. There's Godfrey, not too many games this year. A lot of Melbourne supporters like him in the side just for his toughness. There's been a lot of criticism. Melbourne a bit soft around the ball. They are within 4 points. 3-5-23 the Crows. The Demons 3-1-19. They've been good in the clinches. Here's Burton on the burst, charges, gives the ball across to Goodwin. Out of the centre square, spears the ball in, getting across his bizzle. Read it well. Melbourne's defence is standing up. Nathan Brown from half back just works the ball around the boundary line, finds Miller. Long way down from centre half forward. Holland's going to be the next point of direction. Melbourne's not frightened to move across to the boundary line. Quite happy to keep the ball on that side of the ground, Chris. Big pack of players. What a grab. Russell Robinson. Jezza would give that one a tick.
And finally got him away from the goal square.
Robinson bounces to his feet. Good kick. Finds Uze. Two guns combined. He's on his preferred side. He's booted 36 goals for the season. Man playing his game number 229 and closing in on Jimmy Stein's record for the most number of consecutive games.
Yeah, fantastic catch from Russell Robertson. Finally moves out of the goal square, gets outside 50 into some more space, has an influence. Uze with the ball.
Takes a step around. Adam Uze.
Oh, clever.
Has kicked another big goal for Melbourne.
Introducing the 4-litre V6 Toyota Hilux 4x2 SR5. With 175 kilowatts of power and more space, it's the biggest, most powerful Hilux ever. And with ABS, power steering, dual airbags and MP3 compatible CD player, you'll experience more comfort and safety. Get in or get out of the way.
which the fans behind the goal, Chris, could applaud. A great goal.
Never.
Great snap.
Never.
Adamuzze hasn't missed a game since round 8 of 1997. Played 197 on the trot. And he's given the Melbourne side the lead for the first time since time on in the opening term.
And Danaher's changed Melbourne's forward structure. We've been asking for it. Uze goes to full forward. Bassett's his new opponent. Hard onto Robertson. And it worked immediately.
Bock to Goodwin. To half forward. Plenty of players around this contest. John Cock shut down illegally. Gets a free kick. 60 metres from goal, moves it quickly. Good run from Thompson. Peeled off the contest, got forward, called to play on, and taken down. Umpire said he stepped off his line. That seems to be the Bermuda Triangle over there at the moment for marks. Ian Perry was allowed to step off his line and look to pass it inboard before and not be punished. Thompson's taken a half step and gone. Gee whiz, that's harsh.
Even her upper.
Don't do that, Chris. Now, come on. Rashudo. Burton to the line, throw in. 35 out from the Adelaide goal. Crows trail by 2 points. The natives are getting restless. White versus Biglands. Good contest, this one. Perry over the top through the hands of John Cock. Picked up by Bell. Shining light for the Demons this afternoon. Out wide, Hart went one-handed against Robertson. Now at ground level. Umpire will bounce.
Having a moment though, Melbourne. Certainly with some control of this game. Plenty of the footy.
Biglands uncontested to Rashudo, was slick to Goodwin. Towards half forward, big pack fly at that one. Off the hands of the contest. Bizzle in some space. Hot for Rigoni. Bell has to put his body in socket off the ground towards Nicholson. He's crunched. McGregor was clever. Out to McLeod. Flips it over the top. Chance for Adelaide. Goodwin to finish. Goes for it and gets it. Magnificent team goal from the Crows.
Nice throw.
Whoops.
There it is.
Are you guys okay?
Classic.
There's the goal kicker on screen. Simon Goodwin, All-Australian. They lead by 4 points. 4-5-29 plays 4-1-25. Jeff White inside the centre circle. Just eyeing off Rhett Biglands and White. Pumps the ball forward, taken away by Thompson for the Crows. Kicks a high ball back towards centre half forward. Running back with a fly to the ball and taking the free kick is Bell. 12 possessions, leading possession on the ground for Melbourne. Goes wide, looking for Maloney. Spent some time on the bench, goes to ground. Now Pile on top. And Rashudo just collides with the umpire on his way to the contest.
Yeah, hard to be critical of Daniel Bell. Ex-Glenelg boy, doing it beautifully. 12 possessions, just got to make him count though. Missed too many with his feet. If he improves that, he can be a very and will be a very good player.
Already recruiting for next year. Taken over the boundary line for a toss back in.
You've lost
Daniel Ward.
Tackles this quarter, KB. 9-1 in favour of Melbourne. That work ethic when they don't have the football being maintained in this second term.
Well, the underdogs today, Melbourne, with 9 players out. About the only player out for the Crows is Tawney. Just about their best side on the paddock today. It's all or nothing for Melbourne. We saw Neil Danaher, and there he is on screen at quarter time. Talking to the troops, Glenn Matten. Saw Neil Danaher, and there he is on screen at quarter time. Talking to the troops, Glenn Matten, particularly to Russell Robinson. It's crunch day for Melbourne. Taken away by Skipworth. Rashudo nearly stepped over the line. Skipworth with magnificent hands finds Goodwin. Danger here for Melbourne. Getting back is Nicholson. He's a trier. He may not be a star, but he'll put his body on the line.
Took the grab but couldn't quite stick the landing.
Maloney. Short to Brown. Happy to share the ball around half-back Melbourne, coming out of that last line of defence, Wheatley. Now Maloney runs hard. Has to be an important player for Melbourne today. That's kick's a poor one. He's usually a thumping kick. Here's Bock from centre half back. Drills the ball in. Chance now. Thompson finds Goodwin. Second goal coming up. Runs to 25. Closes to 20 and rams it home.
Whatever your home improvement project, Bunnings Warehouse has everything you need. 4-litre flat plastic paint, a low $14.50. A Zito 1800-watt chainsaw, just $79. Stainless steel kitchen sink, only $79. 1.8-metre stepladder, just $34. Super Tool 21-piece screwdriver and bit set, only $7.94. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Simon Goodwin came into the game with a good record against Melbourne, averaging 24 touches in his last 6 games against them. He's up to 12 this afternoon. He's had 7 in this second term with a couple of goals. All 7 uncontested. They must tighten up on Simon Goodwin. Biglands links up with Rashudo. Adelaide putting the foot down, looking to make a move. Here's Bock. They go streaming forward again, the Crows. Long ball inside 50. Welsh, the target, stands tall, couldn't quite haul it in at ground level, but set upon by Wheatley. Umpire lingers and says holding the ball. No attempt from Welsh to get rid of it once he was wrapped up. Free kick coming back to Paul Wheatley. Melbourne must hold on here. They trail by 10 points. Adelaide marshalling an effort in this second term. Reid has it at the top of the defensive goal square. He's got a man in space. It was all or nothing because White went to ground. Perry met the other way by McLean. McGregor, umpire called play on. Crowd was looking for an over-the-shoulder call as Nicholson gets it to White. And that's ugly as well, out on the full. So a minute that Jeff White would rather forget. Rutten has it. His kick misses the body. Skipworth there to tidy up with Perry. Off a step from 65. Inside the 50 arc. Bell at the front. Goodwin again for 3. Misses. Well, Adelaide on top at the moment, and Melbourne have to be tidy. They've got to be tight here. The Crows creating enough opportunities as it is without Melbourne gift wrapping them. As Paul Johnson prepares to re-enter the fray. The ball's with Wheatley. The pressure really being applied to Melbourne now. The blowtorch has been turned up. Ferguson has it in the back pocket. This is where the D's would love a goal against the run of play to just settle them down again. Maintain the belief. Ferguson goes long. Burton in best position, couldn't bring it down. Nicholson stripped by Perry. Ball spills out. Skipworth taken down by Reid. We'll have another bounce. Adelaide dominating around the ball ups so far this afternoon. 6 clearances to 1 in that area. It's pretty much even across the board. 16-15 right around the ground. McLean tries to win one for Melbourne. Had it a long time and gone. The Crows lifting. Skipworth gains an extra 10 metres. No one on the mark. High kick inside 50. Welsh is in the middle of the pack and takes the mark. Again, it's the little things. No one on the mark for Skipworth allowed him to get that extra 10 or 15 metres. And instead of kicking for goal from 45 out, Welsh has got a chance from 25.
Yeah, very predictable too. The Crows will always go to the edge of the square, the hot spot. Scott Welsh with a contested mark. Haven't seen too many of those today. Wheatley for the first time today, just giving Welsh a fraction of space. And when he's confident, he nails these. And Scott Welsh at the moment is on fire.
For his first and 45th of the year, yes sir. Adelaide pull away. The margin 17 points.
New 4-cylinder Camry Altice Limited comes with special editions, including alloy wheels, ABS, steering wheel audio and sports console from $27,988 drive away.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota. Go the Crows. Go the Magpies.
Go the Rooster.
Red Rooster's Footy Feast. Buy a quarter-time meal or full-time meal and you could win a package for 4 to the 2005 AFL Grand Final. Only at Red Rooster.
There's the man on screen who's taken that very, very strong mark. 45 goals for the season for Scott Welsh. 8 goals early in the season, 3 goals last week as well. He's been hot to trot, 17 points to Crows. Johnson's in the ruck. Skipworth charges out of the centre square. Great build-up. Goodwin from 45 metres out. He's booted 3. No, he has missed. It has just started to slide to the left. They were going up as one behind the goals. Even Goodwin put his hands in the air, then onto his head. He's the man to beat. 14 possessions, 5 inside 50s. He's booted 2 goals, 3. Demons just need to take a deep breath. Ward has got it in the back pocket. They trail by 18 points. Just under 7 minutes left in this second term. Hugs the boundary line. Big pack of players. Playing in front this time is Holland. Takes it on the second grab. Ben Holland, 6 possessions. That's mark number 4. Danger here. Armstrong caught high. Fans don't like it. Young man from Western Australia. Injured in the Bali bombing, trying to resurrect his career. At centre half back. Kicks long. Miller was on a long lead. Couldn't quite get to the contest. There's a free kick. And it's going to the Crows. Brett Burton. All of a sudden the Crows look very, very lively, look very dangerous. Kicks a high ball, one for the high fly, standing his ground is Ben Holland. Strong eyes on the ball. Again to centre half forward. Miller again was the target, again a bit too late to react getting to the contest, but Melbourne have got a free kick. The ball's going to hold up slightly in the breeze. If you're a key forward, you've got to make certain that you can actually get to the contest. The Crows really do push back as Godfrey hammers the ball long and hard inside 50. And Rutten. He has been a star this year, Chris. What a surprise packet. When they moved him there last year, people thought it must have been a stopgap by Neil Craig, but he saw something in the young man.
Kicked 3 goals with his first 3 kicks in league footy, but taking it beautifully at full back. As we said before, rarely wastes a touch, Ben Rutten. Got some good speed off the mark too. Trent Henschel, a little bit frustrated. Boys will be boys. But Ben Rutten, an absolute shoo-in for All-Australian selection.
Just under 5 minutes left in this second term. 43 plays 25. Johnson will do the ruck work against Biglands. Got the tap to the back of the pack. They needed a crummer. Pounced on that time. Here's Goodwin and Tyson Edwards combining. Bassett was pulled off the ball. There was no free kick. Hart copped one behind play and went to ground. Now the ball is going to come back. He's going to play it downfield where the ball landed. So Bassett, again with no one on the mark. Melbourne were a little bit confused. High ball. Holland stands his ground in front again. A tower of strength in the last 5 minutes is Ben Holland as he forces the ball wide. Melbourne have got their key forwards back in defence. Here's Miller now, strutting his stuff across half-back, trying to set it up. Reid has to stand tall, crunched. Will take the free kick and bounces to his feet.
And the D's get one back against the flow. The last couple of minutes has been a bit more solid after Adelaide unloaded with 3 quick goals to open up this 18-point lead. Reid goes out wide. Uze won't get to the contest. And Mattler picks it off.
Just can't possibly score at the moment. Melbourne pushed everybody back. We saw Danaher do it last time they played the Port Adelaide here. No way can they score at the moment.
Adelaide look to run it forward. Biglands to Thompson. They stream through the middle. Wide open forward line. Perry beats Nicholson to the football. And will go back from 45 metres out.
Just a matter of time at the moment for the Crows. Melbourne in disarray. Everybody flooding back. And if you don't hit your targets when you go forward, as we said before, the Crows will cut you up. Ian Perry provides the target up forward, takes the diving mark, and, well, Melbourne are under siege. 13 scoring shots to 5, and Ian Perry with a chance to put the Crows even further in front.
There's no doubt, Chris, that going left of screen, the Melbourne forwards are about 5 metres too far back because there is a breeze, and for some reason the ball is dropping short. They're not quite getting to the contest.
Yeah. Big round of applause for Simon Goodwin. Comes off for a spell as Perry hits the post. Goodwin been magnificent in this second term. Just cut up Melbourne through the middle of the ground. He's had 10 possessions, 9 of those uncontested, 3 inside 50s and kicked 2-2 just in this second term. He's had 5 of their 14 scoring shots and leads the game in possessions.
Daniel Ward's been the player assigned to Simon Goodwin, 2 for the quarter. Not close enough to him, no respect, and Simon Goodwin will make you pay.
Wheatley launches it long, but too long. It was a thumping kick. Bounces out of bounds, a good 85 metres from goal. Chance again for Adelaide to go back inside 50. Dominated the latter stages of this term. Ferguson over the top. It was a fully committed spoil. And Johnson takes it to the line as Ferguson a bit sore to get up. Landed heavily. There he is. Probably just winded, let's hope, as we head to Glenn Manton.
Thanks, Jason. It just appears the Melbourne defence really lacks any energy coming out of its defensive half. They're very slow, they're very stagnant, and they're not prepared to switch the ball. Makes it very difficult to gather that momentum to bring it into the forward line.
In boxing terms, just completely covered up in the last 15 minutes to try and stop the hemorrhaging, but they can't throw a punch themselves as a result. Thompson to Biglands, off a stab. Another poster.
Well, hang on, there's a free kick. Ball's going back by the looks of
to that Bermuda Triangle again. Out on the half-forward flank, and it's coming back to Scott Thompson. Daniel Bell stands the mark. Slung in the tackle after he released the football. There's the free kick. Scott Thompson, who started his career at Melbourne. He was their #1 draft pick in season 2000, taken at 16 overall, played 39 games for the D's. Now with the Crows, and a chance to kick a stinger just before half-time. One just floats across the face, through for a minor score. Adelaide have got them on the rack at the moment. The margin 20 points, 2.5 remaining until half-time. Melbourne need to hold, and better than that, try to get one back themselves. Wheatley, devoid of options, no movement at all at the moment. They're standing completely stagnant in the zone, Melbourne. Wheatley begging for something to kick to. Again, he'll launch it long. That's his get-out position, but they picked it off. Perry. And now the Crows streaming around inside 50 because of the zone. Melbourne completely out of position, and Thompson's got it. Further out, better angle than his last effort. Welsh circles to the top of the square. McGregor's there as well with John Cock at his feet. Thompson tries to open the angle. Nicholson allowed to play on this time. A high ball to the top of the square. 3-on-1. Johnson dropped the chest mark. Under pressure, Wheatley takes it to ground, needs to try to get it out. McGregor did, and snaps it behind. Half-time can't come soon enough for Melbourne.
Well, a goal would certainly lift the Demons' spirits if they can just grab one. In the last minute and a half of the second quarter, they have been on the ropes, no doubt. They've been taking a standing 8 count. Fred Burton getting some treatment. The Demons this time, that's a better kick, pinpointed by Wheatley. Finds Johnson, young Chris Johnson. His father, one of the stars for Melbourne. Taken under the father and son rule. Brown goes short, finds Rigoni. 12 possessions along with Bell. Leads the count for Melbourne. Johnson runs hard, makes himself a second option. Some fresh legs, some spring in the step. Kicks the ball long. Huge pack of players at the back, taken that time by Johnson. Didn't quite get the handball away, pounced on that time by Ward, gets it across. Robinson kicks a high ball. Brock McLean makes it a contest. At the foot of the pack, chance for Davey, wears a bit of magic, does the tackling, wraps up Riley in the tackle along with Godfrey, and he's gone. Ping. Now who's going to get the free kick? They both had him. Both left footers.
Diesel preferred Davey, you'd suggest.
Well, I think Brent Riley got the free kick paid against him because he actually looked up at the umpire once he got tackled, almost to say, look, I'm trying, or there's nothing I can do. Gave the umpire every reason to pay it holding the ball. And Melbourne, well, they've got 4 goals. They've all been kicked by left footers. So I'm going to back him in.
Just what the Demons need. Just to lift their spirits. Aaron Davey floats it over the line.
They've got 5.
Hello, George Danikian in 10 News at half-time. Sailors at Outer Harbour tell of their desperation after living in squalid conditions. Desperate efforts to save a submarine crew running out of air on the ocean floor. The state's embattled DPP holds out a peace offering to the government. Highlights from the first half of the Crows game and action from the Ashes.
Important goal, that one for the D's. Margin back to 15 points, a much more manageable total, and also just a reinstalment of some momentum and belief as they head to the half-time break. Dying seconds of the second term. Johnson went with a backhander, struck it off the deck. Taken down Miller. Adelaide fans want a taste of the same justice that was just dished out a minute ago. Different circumstances, umpire will bounce. 15 seconds remaining until the major break. Good game of football, this one. Another ruck infringement. There's been a few of them this afternoon. This is going the way of the Crows. Biglands needs to move it quickly. They need a mark inside 50. That won't come. Ooh. That was a car wreck. They came from all sides. And it is half-time at Amy Stadium. Good game of football on Saturday afternoon footy. Adelaide 6-10-46. Melbourne 5-1-31. Both sides putting in heavily. And have a look at this one. Right on the bell at half-time. That's a difficult spare in 10-pin bowling terms. 15 points the margin at the major break. The Adelaide Crows adding 4 goals, 6. Melbourne adding 3 straight goals. The margin 15 points. Goodwin has 2 goals for Adelaide. Motlop has 2 for the Demons. Great game of footy. Stay with us Saturday afternoon at Amy Stadium.
The Bombers will never forget who rubbed them out of the 96 grand final. We mean never. It's game on! Unbelievable! Get ready for 10's Rumble at the Dome. Essendon, Sydney, live 6:30 tonight.
AFL Saturday on 10.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer tastes even better sitting around the fire at a quiet little camping spot. Yep, that's all a man needs. Beer, mates and fire. And maybe a two-man tent. One each, I mean. You can't expect 2 blokes to sleep in one of those things together. It's not going to happen. 2 ladies might manage, but that should be called a 2-lady tent. Of course, you might persuade a bloke to squeeze inside with 2 ladies. Then you've got 3 people in a 2-man tent, and that makes for far too much commotion at your quiet little camping spot. Let's keep it simple. Mates, fire, and of course the big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic.
If you were starting a business, you'd be wanting some pretty good advice.
We do everything as a family unit.
It's hard work.
We need to be noticed. Turn passion into profit.
The buck stops with you.
Red TV, 8 a.m. Sundays on Network 10.
The new hot, fresh toasted subs are here, like the chicken and bacon ranch sub. Toasted hot, inside and out. Subway, eat fresh.
A union of style and substance, of passion and precision, with its own unrivaled DNA. With unsurpassed levels of quality, performance and safety. The all-new Sonata, evolved driving from Hyundai.
Famous Victorian factory warehouse dump stock.
Laconia takes the lot.
Over $330,000 of dining suites. Save 30% or more. No exception. Plus, no interest, no payments till 2007 with no deposit. Look for the special tags. Laconia.
Pick up the spinning ball. Yes, he can. What a start to the final quarter.
The 1999 preliminary final.
Lloyd juggles and gets another one.
The Bombers were #1 favourites and 1 game away from the premiership.
It starts right. It swings back. What a goal!
At three-quarter time, the Blues were down.
This is where they need a big mark. A huge pack of players.
But suddenly, one legendary tackle by one player.
Can he cover himself in glory? He's lost it.
In one small moment, the whole game changed.
That could be the turnover that cost them.
And one memorable victory for the Blues.
They are into the grand final. Carlton is into the grand final.
Powerade. It ain't over till you say it's over.
News with George Danikian.
Good evening. Welcome to this special halftime bulletin. We'll go back to the football shortly. First, the plight of a slave ship at Outer Harbour. The crew is refusing to leave the carrier until $600,000 in unpaid wages is handed over. For months, they've lived in squalor without decent food.
Distraught crew aboard the Saudi-owned livestock carrier Mawashi Al Ghazim look out in despair. They've been stranded in South Australian waters since March.
They haven't received wages for at least 4 months, and obviously that has an effect on their families back in their homelands, and obviously their families aren't being fed.
The 70 mostly Filipino crew forced to live on rations of rice and biscuits.
People are getting fed up because the uncertainties is there.
Creditors have forced the ship's arrest, awaiting a federal court ruling. This is not the first time the ship has been in hot water. 2 years ago, it was forced to anchor off Adelaide for 6 weeks at the height of the live sheep export crisis sparked by the notorious Cormo Express. And a fire in the carrier's hull prompted an emergency response in 1995. Union officials anxious the federal court ruling will break the deadlock.
We're hopeful that the vessel may have to be sold, and then the proceeds will go towards paying the crew their wages and repatriation.
I will stay here until we get the money so that we can go home.
Belinda Hagen, 10 News.
International efforts have begun to save 7 Russian seamen trapped in a submarine at the bottom of the Pacific. The men have less than a day's airlift.
As air runs out for the 7 trapped Russian submariners, time is running out for international rescue crews. Japanese, American and British teams are all on the way to the Kamchatka Peninsula, to where the tiny Priz submarine lies stricken on the ocean floor.
They have the equipment, the manipulator arms that can cut the cables that are entangling the vessel.
Itself a deep-sea rescue vessel, the mini-sub was participating in a military exercise when it snagged a fishing net in its props and sank to a depth of 190 metres. For the past 2 days, Russian authorities have been attempting to snare the sub with cables from the surface. Latest reports indicate they may have succeeded, but are unable to move the vessel. British help is expected to arrive within hours.
I think that it's all very much in the lap of the gods. I would like to say that we can definitely do it.
Сейчас, как я и обещал. Russian Navy Captain Igor Dagalo announced earlier today that the crew had only 24 hours air left. They are in constant communication with Russian authorities and know of the rescue efforts. But the tragic end to the Kursk submarine drama 5 years ago must be weighing on their minds. Brett LaFrance, 10 News.
To breaking news, a man is dead, another in hospital after a backyard explosion in Port Pirie. 10 News understands the men were using oxyacetylene equipment when a gas cylinder exploded around 2 o'clock. The 59-year-old man died at the scene. The blast tore the man's shed apart. Details of the condition of the second victim are yet to be released. Police are preparing a report for the coroner. Britain has toughened its anti-terror laws in the face of human rights fears. Prime Minister Tony Blair has announced that foreigners found to be preaching hatred or sponsoring violence could be deported under strict new measures.
Let no one be in any doubt, the rules of the game are changing.
Mr Blair said Britain's ability to deport foreigners had been hampered by human rights legislation. He also dismissed threats from an Al-Qaeda videotape. The outspoken Director of Public Prosecutions appears to be offering the state government an olive branch. Stephen Pallara says he wants to meet with the Attorney-General to call a truce after weeks of bitter clashes. Relations between the DPP and government have hit an all-time low. The Premier has ordered all communication with the DPP's office now be in writing. But Mr Pallara says that's unworkable and he hopes to break the impasse. Adelaide's trams are about to return to the rails after a 9-week break. The line from the city to Glenelg has been rebuilt. Nighttime testing is now underway to ensure that everything goes smoothly. When services resume on Monday morning, the upgrade clears the way for our new trams and they're expected to come online in December. Coming up, our halftime bulletin, we have a look at the football, or we'll do the football highlights in fact, and the Adelaide Hills are alive with the sounds and the sights of Rally SA.
Nice blow.
Whoops.
There it is.
Are you guys okay?
Classic.
Bring your DIY dreams to life at Stratco. Polyethylene rainwater tank, a Stratco Super Special, $499. Laserlight 2000 polycarbonate roofing, just $14.95 a metre. Stratco colour fence sheets, only $12.95 each. Sentinel pull-out clothesline, a low $39.95. And 600mm beam level, a Stratco Super Special, $249. DIY and save at Stratco.
What you need today?
Hello?
You could turn your favourite Cadbury bar into a new mobile. Every hour, Cadbury is giving away the feature-packed Sony Ericsson K300i. Plus, there are 50,000 Vodafone Red SIM starter packs to be won. Shh. Buy a specially marked bar and SMS for your chance to instantly win.
If you were starting a business, you'd be wanting some pretty good advice.
We do everything as a family unit.
It's hard work. We need to be noticed.
Turn passion into profit.
The buck stops with you.
Red TV, 8 a.m. Sundays on Network 10.
Go the Crows! Go the Magpies!
Go the Rooster.
Red Rooster's Footy Feast. Buy a quarter-time meal or full-time meal and you could win a package for 4 to the 2005 AFL Grand Final. Only at Red Rooster.
This weekend's Rally SA is heading for a crowd record. The nation's top drivers are at Mount Crawford for an event that generates $1 million for the Hills economy.
The noise, speed and driver skill are what makes this event so special. 70 cars battling for position through the challenging forest roads at up to 200 kilometres an hour.
I think it's great. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, it's pretty good to come up here. It's exciting. First time to Adelaide as well.
Unbelievable. I can't believe the preparation and what's involved.
Going pretty well so far. Yeah, enjoying myself.
Enormous bonfires took the edge off the mountain chill. Others' efforts less impressive. But it was the on-track action that focused everyone's attention.
Attendances continue to grow. The South Australian round of this rally holds the spectator record.
We would certainly expect to break the Australian record of 30,000 people over the weekend.
In fact, every man and his dog were there today. The rally continues tomorrow. Peter Sellett, 10 News.
Adelaide has been looking to extend its record-breaking winning streak, taking on Melbourne at Amy, and the Crows have held the edge in the first half, going into the break with a 15-point lead.
With their season on the line, Melbourne came to Amy to play.
Stands and kicks a goal.
Good signs early for the D's before Rhett Biglan's launched one from 50.
It's a big bomb. It's a great kick.
Michael Doughty's individual effort created the turnover and the Crows' second soon after, but Shannon Motlop was simply mercurial.
That was magic.
Adelaide by 3 points at the first change. The umpire gifted Ian Perry his first with a 50-metre penalty. The D's responding on the scoreboard. Russell Robertson's screamer setting up this difficult chance for Adam Uze.
Oh, clever.
Melbourne in front, but not for long.
Magnificent team goal from the Crows.
Scott Welsh adding to the aerial display.
50 Welsh is in the middle of the pack and takes the mark.
The Crows by 15 points at half-time. Jodie Blewett, 10 News.
England has a 124-run lead heading into the day 3 of the second Ashes Test. Australia on the back foot early with Matthew Hayden out for a duck. Captain Ricky Ponting, they responded with a half-century in as many minutes. Justin Langer then dug in, finally breaking the shackles on his way to 50. But a gem from Simon Jones had Langer finally out for 82. The Australian tail crumble, leaving England 99 ahead. However, some Shane Warne magic at the end of the day sent the Australians home with a glimmer of hope. Terrific ball. Plenty of sunshine right across Adelaide today, and after a low of 4.8, we managed a maximum of 16 degrees. The forecast down to 8 overnight. A few showers are coming up tomorrow, and 16 the maximum. Well, that's the 10 News for the moment. Do stay with us as we prepare to cross back for the second half of what promises to be an exciting match between the Crows and Melbourne at Amy Stadium. For the 10 News team, George Danikian. Good night.
I got really angry and I just gave her a slap. You know, stuff happens. But she knows, I mean, she deserved it.
Kept going, you know, the next minute she says I forced her. But, you know, it was too late. What was I supposed to do?
Yeah, I know this bloke, and we all know he hits his girlfriend. Never in front of people, but she won't do anything. You know, I can't say anything, can I?
Well, you just lose control sometimes. It's only shoving and stuff. It's not like I'm one of those blokes who beats up on a woman.
Well, she came back to my place and she knew what we were there for. And then, like, halfway through she says no. But I kept going and...
This behaviour is not just unacceptable, it's criminal. You can get help and support by talking with an experienced counsellor on this confidential helpline, 1-800-200-526. To violence against women, Australia says no. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Go the Crows! Go the Magpies!
Go the Rooster. Red Rooster's Footy Feast. Buy a quarter-time meal or full-time meal and you could win a package for 4 to the 2005 AFL Grand Final. Only at Red Rooster.
What you need? What you want? Yeah. Do it. Yeah. Do it good. Do it right. Wow. Do it now. Come on. Wow.
Select from the wide range of styles available in Stratco Neighbourhood Fencing.
Save on any 2 of these for just $50. Valentine Scotch, Canadian Club, Beefeater Gin, Finlandia Vodka, Kahlua and Jewel Scotch, plus get a bonus 2-litre Coke and 2 Crows or Port Power glasses. And Grabberry 5-litre casks only $18.50 a twin pack. Or Cascade Premium Lager just $42.99 a carton with 2 bonus glasses. See the web for more great offers. There's no need to be confused about rug prices. Go straight to Discount City Carpets and check out their price tickets on their huge range of rugs, and that's the price you pay. Not inflated prices, real prices. Forget the others, get rugs at real prices. Discount City Carpets, all branches.
It's here. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Its Hemi V8 can unleash 240 kilowatts of power, yet can deactivate 4 cylinders to conserve fuel. Its advanced suspension system and electronic stability program give it its best on-road performance ever. Then there's its second-generation quadra-drive system for off-road, because underneath it all, it's still a Jeep.
I said no, but he wouldn't stop.
It's only shoving and stuff. It's not like I'm one of those blokes who beats up on a woman.
If you have a problem because you've experienced or been responsible for assault or violence, you can call this helpline for help and support. Call 1-800-200-526 for a confidential discussion with an experienced counsellor. To violence against women, Australia says no. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Welcome back to AAMI Stadium, where the Melbourne Football Club must have been frantic at a half-time trying to rearrange their team in order to claw back this 15-point deficit to the Adelaide Crows. Some potential moves in my mind in the second half include young Armstrong to Goodwin, maybe a Davey down back for more leg speed, and Jeff White to centre-half forward. They're my hypotheticals. Jason, what will reality hold for us in the second half?
Well, Adelaide, Glenn, their third quarters have been their real strength in recent times. Won 10 of their last 11, and it's been Melbourne's Achilles heel. In the last 6 weeks, they've lost all 6 third quarters. So the next half an hour shapes is absolutely crucial in this contest. Chris McDermott, how do you see it?
No, I agree. Look, this time last week, game in the balance. Crows had some structural problems at half-time. They came out in the start of the third quarter, had the first 15 touches of the quarter, kicked 3 goals without Sydney touching it. So it is a team that responds to the coach's message at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what Neil Craig does at half-time. They looked a little flat, Adelaide, even though they controlled a lot of the footy. They have looked a little flat, just need a spark. And again, got some players, Tyson Edwards only 6 touches, who can start to influence this game of footy. Brett Burton only 6 touches, Andrew McLeod only 7. So some of their key players still need to make an influence on this game of footy. We spoke about Uze, Maloney and Davey from Melbourne. Well, the Crows have got equal good players in screen that have got plenty left in the tank. Simon Goodwin, though, the star performer in that first half.
Looking at some of the key stats, Chris, they do tell the story of the relative ball usage of the two sides. Adelaide with 2 less possessions than Melbourne, 145 to 147, yet inside 50s, 33-18 in favour of the Crows. So for the same amount of football, Adelaide going in almost twice as many times.
Yeah, Melbourne just chipping the ball around, not using it long. Kenny McGregor providing the target up forward. So Melbourne have to change their game style, and it's got to happen in the third quarter. Their season's on the line. They have to roll the dice at some stage, break the shackles and blow this game open. What have they got?
Third quarter at AAMI Stadium, Saturday afternoon football. Adelaide taking on Melbourne. Thanks for joining us as Jeff White goes against Hudson. Hudson, a good tap down to Goodwin. Exerts an immediate influence in the third term towards centre-half forward. Ferguson to Brown. He goes out wide and finds Bizzle at half-back. Looks up. He's got McLean short. Too short now to use, so he'll kick longer. Robertson, a couple to beat. In the end, that was a pretty good result. Ricochets out for a throw-in.
Well, Neil Craig pushes Graham Johncock into defence, and as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, Andrew McLeod starts the third quarter in the midfield. So looking for some run and a bit of spark for the Crows throughout the middle.
Just looks ready to explode, Andrew McLeod. One to be watched in the second half. Maloney wrapped up by Shirley. Brett Maloney needs to exert an influence on this game. Just 5 touches to half-time. He's averaging 18 a game this season, including 7 inside 50, so he has been one of their primary ball movers, pumping it forward. They need him to get on the end of it this afternoon. Burton tries the fend off from Motlop. Nothing doing. Play on the call. Quick kick out of the congestion. Chance here for Hudson. Down the line. Goes again, gains some territory. Umpire said he ran it out as Davey ran him down. We'll have a throw in. A good positive football from the big man.
Oh, certainly has had a great year, Ben Hudson. Full of confidence too, taking on Aaron Davey. There's some courage for you.
Showed him the ball too. So have a look at that, Sharon.
Hey.
Showed him the ball, Chris.
Once and once only.
Davey zoned in for a closer look. Hudson at the back. Quick kick. Gets it forward. Perry attacks it. Wanted to release the handball to McLeod. Couldn't do so. McLean picks it up for Melbourne. Now to Brown. Now to Rigoni. Early goal for the D's would be fantastic for their confidence. Rigoni can keep going through the middle. Now the searching kick inside 50. Going back was Holland. Uze at the back against Hart. 1-on-1. Boundary line closing. Hart keeps it alive. Keeps his feet. Runs into Miller. Drops the football. Miller strips it. Goes back again. Holland put his head over it. Play on call.
Looks a free.
He'll get a free. Advantage paid for Uze to go with a low percentage out of bounds on the fall. And at times like that, you'd love to have it over again.
Yes, a regrettable moment, no doubt. Got to have the presence of mind to know when you can kick the goal and when it's better not to take advantage of the free kick, and wrong choice on that occasion.
Melbourne trail by 15 points. They need some big hearts and some big minds in this third term. Ball's over the line for a boundary throw-in. It was a good run by Rigoni, running through the centre of the ground. Long searching kick inside 50. Getting the ball quickly into that forward line will put the Crows defenders under some pressure. It's a boundary thrown, a good 65 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Again, playing in front, Hudson. I like that in the ruck. He takes that front position. Motlop's booted a couple of early goals. Davies also kicked a late goal in that second term. Tumbles the ball forward, looking for Holland. Needs support, hands and knees. Shirley somehow just shoveled the ball out. Chance now for Burton, head straight for the boundary line and puts it over. Let's go down to Glenn Manton.
As the ball's thrown in here, KB, keep your eyes open for Godfrey and Goodwin. It's a hard tag, and he's going to go all the way. It's very physical, even as we speak.
Well, Goodwin had 16 possessions and booted 2 goals, 3 in that first half. And you can see there all of a sudden some elbowing, some pushing and shoving. Godfrey's got the job to shut down the star. Here's McLeod. Has been released from the back pocket with those magic hands. Finds Shirley's. Backtracks and conceded ground as the Crows come forward from Doughty. Now a free kick. It's going to Melbourne. Let's go back to Glenn Manton.
Guess who's having a wrestle behind the play? Godfrey and Goodwin. It's going to be on all day from here on in.
Keep an eye on that one. There's Godfrey. He's already hit the deck. Jeff White gets the hurry on from the umpire and he's run over the mark. Now there's a 50-metre penalty. Have to see that one again. It appeared that he blew the whistle and then he's paid 50 metres. So Jeff White's only booted 4 goals this year. In fact, I'd like to see White maybe and Johnson changing out of the goal square, give that extra height. They need every good player on the ground at the moment. I don't think they can have Jeff White off the ground. Got to have him somewhere on the ground. Maybe he can take a mark, maybe he can kick a goal. This would be great for his confidence, it'd be great for Melbourne. They're just chipping away. They've only had the 6 scoring opportunities against 16. They trail by 15 points. Jeff White. This is a big kick for Melbourne. It's a big kick. It's a big goal. Jeff White has delivered.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer goes hand in hand with the greatest sporting apparatus ever invented, the remote control. All the exercise a bloke needs without getting off the couch. From cricket to golf to aerobics to fishing to aerobics to racing and back to aerobics. Yep, I'd love to mow the lawns right now, but my hands are full. Remote control in one, big cold beer in the other. And the best cold beer is Vic, Victoria Bitter.
Crowd finds some voice. Adelaide yet to go inside 50 in this third term. We've played 5.5 minutes. Goodwin, clever. Hudson, McLeod explodes to 50 on the run. The champ, the kick was poor. McGregor, play on. Ball finds the line. It was set up for some McLeod brilliance, but just didn't hit the kick sweetly.
Yeah, no doubt. Give a great rap also for Brock McLean because he chased McLeod out of that centre square and he made ground on him, and McLeod had to hurry his kick.
The D's worked so hard without the football today. It's been lacking, sadly, in the last 6 weeks. They've found that spirit and fight. Hudson and White. Hudson crashes through the big man. Bell tries to take it to the line. It's still there for Tyson Edwards. Ferguson under pressure. It's still there. Edwards lurking. Ferguson, Wheatley, Thompson in over the top. Ball up, goal square.
He takes the front position, Hudson, doesn't he?
Always, KB. Just gets in front, got a great second effort too. Always follows up his knock work. Nearly pinched himself a goal. Great desperation from Melbourne. They know the price of this game.
They need to be careful here. White. Holland. Handball to space. Ward tries to get there. We'll have a throw in. Didn't try that hard. Happy to see it out. Just had to try hard enough to make sure the handball didn't look deliberate out of bounds.
Did it beautifully. Did it beautifully. Still in the danger zone for Adelaide. Often very good and score a lot of goals from positions like this.
Again, the D's need to be tight. They're away through Rigoni. He releases Brown. Melbourne going okay. Rigoni and Brown link up again. Edwards runs him down, in trouble and gone. Again, they looked up and were devoid of options coming towards them through the middle. Tried to manufacture something, but Edwards ran him down. Inside 50, McLean gets across. It was important. Just blocked the vision of Andrew McLeod. Reid, Brown, Melbourne stealing themselves. Armstrong, they just need to find some targets up the ground. McLean receives a Shepherd, will kick into space. Dowdy going back for the Crows against Motlop. Can the magical Motlop come up with something here? Dowdy happy to take him to the line. Motlop keeps it alive. Goodwin lurking. Has got some space. He's got away from Godfrey. Into the middle of the ground, McLeod his target. Rigoni did enough to force a contest. Davey over the top, missed it. McLeod, Shirley, Bassett through the middle. Bock run down by Davey. Umpire says play on. Bassett from 50. Nathan Bassett can wind up. Ferguson's given Skipworth one on the way through. Bassett misses the goal. The free kick will come back. Rough and ready from Ryan Ferguson. Will it stand as a behind? It will stand as a behind. Advantage was paid.
Free kick should have been played to Davey. I don't think he got his foot to the ball. Did he get his foot to the ball? Did hit the ground first.
Exciting passage of play. Ferguson gets the kick in. Reed. One-on-one. Uze was great. He takes the mark. He's got a man forward. It's Godfrey. The Godfrey-Goodwin battle looming is crucial. Can give it over the top. Oh, it was a looping handball that sat up for Miller. Allowed John Cock to run him down and force him wide. Miller goes to the top of the square. Motlop's got it. Well, this is looming as a contest and a half. Melbourne have come out fighting in the third term. And a chance for Shannon Motlop to kick his third and reduce the margin to just 4 points. There's the Ferguson one on Skipworth. It was pretty ugly. But Motlop at the other end has the football. Melbourne to draw within a kick. And he's got 3.
Sign up to Chic Quattro, the world's only razor with 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips. No other razor shaves closer or smoother than Chic Quattro. Get ready.
Well, you can't beat class. Motlop has booted 3 goals. He can smell a goal, and he's going to grab his opportunity. Melbourne also can sniff an improbable victory. They trail by just 4 points, 6-11-47. Melbourne, great kicking, 7-1-43. There's a bit of spring in their step in this third term. And a bit of vigour as well, and a bit of anger.
And you're right, KB, and the Crows have left the door open for them, haven't put them away, missed too many shots in front of goal. Melbourne with a sniff, now become a different proposition.
Wearing their heart on their sleeves, the Demons. Underdogs today, a bit like Australia too against Stars and Stripes. America's Cup, that's how big this will be if Melbourne can get up. Chance for Rashudo, really sided today. Rockets the ball, taken by Tyson Edwards, puts it out in front. McGregor's got to make ground. Ferguson chasing hard, so does Bell. McLeod paddling the ball along in front, got to take control. Great tackle that time by Bell. Ferguson brought down. Melbourne with numbers around the ball, standing tall in the last line of defence. Brown hammers the ball back. Bock made good ground, closed quickly and thumps the ball over the line for a toss back in.
Great work from Daniel Bell too. I mean, Nathan Bock makes the spoil, but Daniel Bell was the story. Chased Andrew McLeod down, didn't lose his feet, and dispossessed him. Great work from the young fella.
Hudson somehow just keeps working his way to the front, gives him first opportunity. Goodwin works hard, gets the ball to Skipworth, kicks a high ball. Danger for Melbourne. Could be an ugly bounce. Coming through is Shirley. Under 13 minutes left in this second term. There's the Melbourne bench. Maloney and Bizzle and Johnson and Paul Johnson. Neil Danaher will like what he's seeing in this third term. It's Melbourne with a bit of spirit against the unbackable Crows. Tyson Edwards back to McLeod. 2 champs combined. Kicks it to the hot spot. Fergus with a big fist away. Welsh didn't hit the target. Kicked off the ground that time by Rigoni. Caught high was Godfrey. Put himself in the firing line. That's what Melbourne supporters want. They wanted Godfrey in the side. They believed he'd put himself there at crunch time. Godfrey from centre half back goes wide. Running with the ball is Wheatley. Too much carry on it. Beats John Cock over the line.
Certainly having a good moment. Melbourne again just got to make sure, hit your targets, make use of the ball while they've got it. The Crows bench, plenty to come from there. Thompson, Henschel, Biglands, Riley. Neil Craig with plenty up his sleeve, but the Crows under siege.
2 goals to Melbourne this term, 1 behind to Adelaide, who have remarkably only taken 1 mark in 12.5 minutes. Just haven't been able to control the football for any meaningful chain in possession. Rigoni down the line, and there's Holland. Good grab in front of Bock.
Got to move it on quickly, though, Benny Holland's
been the issue all afternoon. Down the line he goes. Miller, the target, almost reeled it in. He'll get a free kick. Was held in the contest.
Holland's taken 7 marks.
So much better too, moves it quickly, puts the Crows defence under pressure.
Miller inside 50, Robertson works hard to the pocket. The kick gave him little chance. Kept it alive momentarily. We'll have a throw in. 35 metres out. You hear someone in the crowd, an Adelaide fan, saying fire up. I'm sure that's the sentiments of Neil Craig at the moment. Because Melbourne are throwing everything they've got at the Adelaide Crows. Their season's on the line. So quite rightly, they should be throwing everything they've got. Johncock under pressure. Edwards slips away from Davey. Johncock slips around Davey. Kicks to the wing. It was a beautiful kick, and it found Skipworth. McGregor down the line looking for Welsh. One-on-one with Wheatley, being by his shoulder. And the ball trickles to the line. 14 minutes gone, third term, Saturday afternoon football at Amy Stadium. Just about a full house here, and they're being treated to a wonderful contest.
Certainly are. Neil Craig recognising the Crows are under siege. He now pushes a lot of his players back behind the ball. So crunch time in this match. Melbourne on the charge, the Crows under pressure. Neil Craig reacts, and the Crows a little defensive.
Can the D's get their noses back in front? So important when you play catch-up football for a couple of quarters to just psychologically actually get in front. That's the challenge for them now. They trail by 4 points.
Great point, Jace. Reward for effort, really important. The Crows crowd, vocal as usual. Love getting involved in games at Amy Stadium, and they know their team, in a good year, are under pressure.
White versus Hudson. Both had the same idea to the front of the contest. Goodwin in there again. Godfrey by his side. We'll have another bounce 65 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Big crowd in, 42,843. And this game so far worthy of that big number. Risciuto fends off, goes to the voice of Skipworth, steps inside Brown, tidy inside 50 to Perry. Some great ruck work, and Risciuto there to break through the traffic.
Hayden Skipworth just becoming such an important player in this team. Missed the last 3 or 4 weeks with a hamstring. Got great poise, and he hits his targets. Presence of mind to stop. Frop finds Ian Perry on the lead, and big goal for the Crows this one.
Challenge now is for him to convert from here, and swinging right and misses. It's been the biggest issue with his game. It was a very strong mark. He finds the football, averaging 12 touches, 5 marks a game, but this season he's kicked 26 goals, 26, and it's just not an accurate enough return from one of your prime forwards.
1 goal, 2 today, including a post in the second quarter for Ian Perry. Lead by 5 points the Crows. 6-12-48, played 7-1-43. Straight kicking has certainly kept Melbourne in the game on the scoreboard. Ferguson stands and delivers, kicks a long ball. Playing in front that time was Holland, fists it away that time. Good strong play, defensive play by Biglands. Rigoni. So a lack of talk, just didn't quite have the presence of mind. Risciuto closed very, very quickly. There is a thumping kick mark, Risciuto. Could he go back and kick this? Gives it a ride. Gives it a big ride. Right to the line. Off hands. Through for a behind.
Yeah, nearly a costly mistake to Melbourne. Daniel Ward, the player, full vision of what was going on, no voice. And Mark Risciuto, a dangerous kick from outside 50. Didn't quite put it away.
And again, Ryan Ferguson prepared to throw himself headlong back into a pack with great courage.
Throws by 1 straight kick. Speak of the devil, there's Ferguson. Young man standing tall. 12 possessions today. He's taken 7 marks. Kicks back to Holland. This time outmarked by Biglands. Too tall to Burton. Cruises to the edge of the centre square. Fires the ball into McGregor. Great defensive play that time by Nicholson. Now Davey can run with the ball. Can he take on Johncock? All he needs to do is gather control. Can't do so. Pushed in the back that time was Motlop. No free kick. Gives it up. Johncock tried to crash his way through. Motlop, strong pair of hands, takes him down. We've got a ball up on the centre wing. Davey just could not control it, Chris.
No, and Brad Miller was away up forward too. Goal-scoring opportunity for Melbourne.
He had the legs pumping. He was like the Roadrunner. They were like pistons. Biglands gets the tap to Goodwin. Down to Johncock. They keep on coming, the Crows. They hit 50. We've got a boundary throw in.
Well, that will be Adelaide's strength as Mark Rashuda has his customary spell halfway through the quarter. They will keep on coming. The fitness is their strength.
You can see the quarter clearances there. They've done very well. With Big Hudson fights his way to the front, and then he gets a breather from Rhett Biglands as well. Jeff White, what a task today. Just a few cameo appearances by Paul Johnson as well. But Melbourne keep on tackling right on 50. Maloney has been quiet today, just the 4 possessions. Some big raps on that young man coming from Geelong. Just starting to struggle with his form. Bell, putting up the toe poker, taken by Matner. Quick hands, finds Tyson Edwards. Danger man, kicks long to the square. Welsh on the stretch, not paid. Just didn't quite hang on to the Sherrin. Chance now for Holland, does well with strength, and Johnson puts it out on the full.
Well, their foot skills have been poor today, Melbourne. In all areas except for their goal kicking. They've finished all right off in front of goal, but field kicking has really let them down. And Scotty Welsh, well,
he was close to holding that mark. Chris just didn't quite keep enough purchase on the ball on the way down. Now just a few words from the ump. He's kicking from outside the boundary line. This is a very, very tough angle. Gives himself some space on the arc. Just to the right. Through for a behind.
It's 1-2 to Scott Welsh. The margin 7 points as we hit time on in the 3rd term. Trust you're enjoying it right around Australia as much as we are. It's a great game of football. A really good contest. Rigoni's kick is dangerous. They keep coming to that spot looking for Holland, and the Crows keep picking it off. This time it's Burton. He'll go short. Had a man in space and uses Shirley now to the top of the 50. Johncock has it. Winds it up. Johncock unloads to the top of the square. It's going, it's going, it's gone! Goal to Graham Johncock.
Hello, Moto.
Johncock with his first, the margin out to 13 points. Again, Adelaide look to move up a gear in time on. Can Melbourne go with them? 42,843 roaring at Amy Stadium. Johnson in the ruck to give White a spell late in the term. Bigland's got it down. It was taken by Maloney. Can the D's respond? Davey will get there first. Went to tap it to Rigoni. He didn't read it. And McLeod comes through. Goes towards Henschel and finds him. The Crows finishing full of steam yet again. Henschel goes high and long. Nicholson tries to get back and force it. 2-on-1, he can't. And Scott Welsh can go back from 20 metres out directly in front to make the margin 19 points.
well, picture tells the story. As good as it gets from Scott Welsh. Under siege. Scrag around the neck, holds his ground, takes the contested mark, and the Crows appear to have weathered the storm, and their key forward about to stretch the margin to 19 points.
Welsh for his second, makes no mistake. Adelaide make their move once again at Amy Stadium.
She's just a normal little girl. She's not hiding any secrets.
If Maya's having visions, you should know about it, and you should know what they are.
I can see things now. I can see the future.
She hasn't had one of those visions in like 4 months.
That's what she tells you.
What is it about this girl that's so important?
Do you want me to tell you?
The new 4400, 8:30 Tuesday.
62 plays 43. It's a 19-point ball game. Let's go down to Glen Manton.
I couldn't agree, KB, with Chris McDermott more on that occasion. It's the simplicity of the Adelaide Football Club, which is their strength.
Played just on 23 minutes in this third term. Melbourne, can they rally? Ball up.
Just shows you the value too, just getting the ball long and strong into your attacking area, into the hot spot. Adelaide with 11 marks inside their attacking, 50 to Melbourne's 2. Yet in general field play, Melbourne with 60 marks to Adelaide's 38. So long and strong from Adelaide, the difference today.
Johnson pushing and shoving that time with Biglands. Going in very, very hard. There's Armstrong. On with Philip Reid. So the Demons, have they got anything left in the tank? 22 scoring shots to 8 gives you some sort of indication how dominant the Crows have been on the scoreboard. But they just haven't quite put Melbourne away.
No, and it's probably happened every quarter, Jace, hasn't it? Melbourne hang tough for the first half of the quarter. You mentioned it at half-time. Then as the quarter goes on, Adelaide's legs, their endurance and their belief just gets stronger, and they're coming home very, very strong.
Johnson, young man, learning the ropes today. Godfrey off the ground. Doughty was desperate. Motlop's booted 3 goals, taken away by Godfrey, smothered off the boot. Some strong arm tactics that time by Miller, but taken away from Vock. Spots the loose man. Burton stands on 70. Time for some think music now. Hammers the ball in, looking for Welsh. This time Wheatley got a fist to it. Bounces to his feet, does well. It can open up for Melbourne. Reid takes a peek, needs support. Has to concede ground, gives it across to Holland, strutting his stuff across half-back. Aaron Davey, now let's see him run. Davey, you can be quick, you can be fast, and then you can be Davey. Here's a chance for Uze. Robertson can kick a goal. He's missed. Maybe a bit too fancy. Maybe Chris, he could have grabbed it.
Well, he's so mercurial, Russell Robertson. You probably give him a free rein to do whatever he likes, but you're right, a couple of poor decisions from Melbourne in this quarter have proved costly. They had a chance to be closer in this game than they are at the moment, but if you don't take him here at Amy Stadium, you pay a heavy price. And this team, not at their best today, the Crows, but certainly keeping Melbourne at arm's distance.
He had some more time than he thought. Here's a chance, closing quickly. That time was Rigoni. He wants a free kick. Doughty and Motlop comes in to lend a hand. We've got a ball up right on 50 for Melbourne as the time clock ticks away in this third term. Just over 4 minutes left. Melbourne has rallied in that second term with a late goal. Can they do it again? Biglands against young Johnson. This time gets his fist to the ball. Some desperate players. Johnson just having a word there with Motlop. Neil Danaher rallying in the troops. Ball up right on 50. Biglands and Hudson today have been very potent weapons, as we see this time. Thompson pulls the ball in, rolls over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Rigoni is going to take a breather, and Brock McLean's going to come on for Melbourne. Keen to get into the action. Held that time was Johnson. There was no free kick. That was Maloney at the bottom of the pack. He's gone. If you dive on the ball, you've got to knock it out with the one motion, unless you go to ground in a contest. Riley ambles away from half-back. That's a spearing kick, a beautiful kick. Running onto it is Rutten. Just needs a kind bounce and gets one. Closing quickly is Ward. He's done well. It's a wild handball. Boundary throw-in.
Just over 3 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. Azuze comes off for a spell, replaced by Bizzle, who's going to go forward for Melbourne. They try to mix it up again. They'll go with Davey, Bizzle and Robertson inside 50. They've got to get it there first. 3 minutes remaining, and a crucial 3 minutes in this contest. particularly for Melbourne if they can get one back here or at least hold.
That's the great call, though. They've got to be able to get the ball inside their attacking 50, Melbourne. They've only done it 25 times to the Crows 45. You can't possibly win a game of footy with only 25 entries or 8 a quarter.
Ball spills free. Bell's been impressive. The little give looked a little dubious. Reid in there trying to hold it up. Prosciutto emerges. A free kick going Melbourne's way over the shoulder. It's coming back to Phil Reid. It's coming back even further. McLean. Wheatley. He's got some runners. They can use them here and get on their bikes. Godfrey. Forced to hold it up, though. Again, the Crows do well to get back and across. Brown. This is where they need someone to take a risk and run the lines. He goes down to Miller. He hangs onto it. Maloney pushes forward to the contest. He's got to go back and Hart will pick it off. Just again a little bit too static going forward. Hart switches inboard. Finds Hudson.
Sat in the hole all day today, Ben Hart. Made it very difficult for Melbourne to move the ball forward. Just too slow with their system and paid a price.
Now Bock. Ferguson again goes back with courage. Look, it was unintentional. He had his eyes on the football, was charging back to force a contest and met Scott Welsh front on.
Oh, he's a good kid though, isn't he, Ryan Ferguson? Wouldn't you love to bottle that?
Gutsy.
Just great courage for a skinny body like that. Puts it on the line.
Here he is again.
And that last replay a little deceptive because that was just at the very last second as he turned his head to see what was coming at him. But rest assured, as he went into that contest, he was looking at the football. Welsh from 55, squares it up to a dangerous position. Skipworth couldn't quite get there. Matt lurks at the back. Holland got his hand to the ball to punch it free. Armstrong under enormous pressure and gone. Play on call. Bell in there working hard. Armstrong goes back to try and win it. A nest of Crows. Nicholson uncertain of the option, so he bangs it on the boot. Heads towards the line and finds it. Good result in the end for Melbourne under enormous pressure once more.
Yeah, Crows just up the ante. When Melbourne made the challenge, the Crows have found something extra, as they have all year. Tackling always their strength. Ferguson back with courage. Great footy collision.
Thrown himself in with reckless abandon today, Ryan Ferguson. Edwards, a little give, was clever to Prosciutto. He releases Riley from 55. Henschel in position, Wheatley over the top. And again, the D's managed to hang on. 19 points the margin. Under a minute remaining. This game delicately poised. Wheatley. Searching kick finds McLean outside defensive 50. 40 seconds remaining. Melbourne need to be tidy here. McLean is exactly that. And he finds Armstrong. Armstrong now to Ferguson. Some of their youngsters really have stood up under pressure this afternoon, and Melbourne fans will be delighted with the spirit their side has shown. They're still in this game. There's plenty of work to do. But they are still a shake in the final term as Armstrong takes it back and they run down the clock to the wing and Ward. Two goals apiece in the third term. Adelaide in control, but Melbourne still alive. The Crows 8-15-63. Melbourne 7-2-44. Adelaide by 3 points at quarter time, 15 at the half, and 19 at three-quarter time. 2 goals apiece to Welsh and Goodwin for Adelaide, while Motlop has equalled his career best of 3 goals for the Demons. And we are poised for a grandstand finish. Saturday afternoon football from Amy Stadium. Don't go away.
He thinks he's caught the right sicko.
What is this? It's what he finds exciting. But for the first time, he's not even close.
911, what is your emergency?
She's not breathing.
All new at 8:30.
Can this clever killer outsmart Detective Gorin?
I doubt that.
Double the chase.
Double the thrills.
Double the intent.
There's something missing. I'll find it.
And that's what makes Gorin so addictive to watch. A new Criminal Intent, 8:30 Sunday.
Whatever your home improvement project, Bunnings Warehouse has everything you need. 4-litre flat plastic paint, a low $14.50. A Zito 1800-watt chainsaw, just $79. Stainless steel kitchen sink, only $79. 1.8-metre stepladder, just $34. Super Tool 21-piece screwdriver and bit set, only $7.94. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Would you like to try one of our Deli Choices rolls?
It's got lots of salad. I can taste a bit of like Indian flavour.
Flavour a little spicy. It's actually really nice.
Tandoori taste. It's nice, yeah.
Would you be surprised if I said that that's actually under 10 grams of fat?
Really?
Do you have any idea who makes these? That little man over there.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Wow.
Deli Choices, the fresh taste from McDonald's.
What are you guys doing for lunch today? At McDonald's?
A union of style and substance, of passion and precision, with its own unrivaled DNA, with unsurpassed levels of quality, performance and safety. The all-new Sonata, evolved driving from Hyundai.
Chocolate-flavoured Senna, an explosion of biscuit pieces, lashings of caramel, covered in Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate.
I ain't lying down till I get my due. I got a thing on my mind.
Boost! There's no need to be confused about rug prices. Go straight to Discount City Carpets and check out their price tickets on their huge range of rugs, and that's the price you pay. Not inflated prices, real prices. Forget the others, get rugs at real prices. Discount City Carpets, all branches.
Wolfblass, Australian wine at its peak.
Network 10 Adelaide would like to acknowledge the support of their 2005 local AFL sponsors, Truscott's and Toshiba, the Plasma, LCD and Surround Sound Specialists. Booze Brothers, proudly South Australian owned. And Stratco, what do you need today?
Three-quarter time at Amy Stadium. This game still well and truly alive. Adelaide 8-15-63. They've led at every change. Melbourne 7-2-44. Motlop with 3 goals for the D's, while Goodwin and Welsh have 2 apiece for Adelaide. Goodwin leading the game with 21 possessions. What a scrap this has been as we take a look at the numbers, Chris McDermott. As we mentioned during the call, nothing in the disposals really, but inside 50 is the telling stat. Adelaide just using the ball more efficiently, and in that third term just flex their muscle around the stoppages.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The 49 inside 50s to 25. I mean, you cannot win a game of football getting the ball inside attacking 50 only 8 times per quarter. Melbourne short with the footy, chipping it around, not taking the risk they need to take to win this game. But what Neil Danaher will be telling them at three-quarter time is you've done enough to give yourself a chance, and while it hasn't been great, they are in this game at three-quarter time. That's all he would have asked for them at the start of the game. Their stars now need to make a contribution.
Let's head down to Glenn Manton.
You, Jason. Good news and bad news at three-quarter time. The good news, both coaches really speaking to their team very calculated, very closely, and really drawing on the fact that this game is far from over. Jason, the bad news, the match day raffle, we've come up short.
Oh, well, I'll miss out on the raffle for a great game of footy, and that's what we've had this afternoon. 42,843. See Adelaide lead at the final change by 19 points. Can the Demons pull something very, very special out of the fire? White got the tap. Maloney dispossessed. Goodwin to Rashudo, now Burton. Early goals vital for both sides. Bell attacked it. Edwards tries to tickle it at the back of the contest. Ferguson over the top of it. Henschel and Skipworth there, they combine. Henschel gets on the end of it. Run down by Bizzle, running out of space, and Melbourne will come away. Here's Brown. Goes long towards Uze on centre wing, and he takes the mark. Melbourne's big names need to get busy in the final term. Uze, 11th possession coming up towards half forward. Holland the target. Worked under it by Rutten, who now dishes off to McLeod. Handball missed the body of John Cock. Davey a chance to steal it. Holds the handball up. Now dishes it off. Robertson combines and gets it back. 55 from goal. Looks inside 50. Miller tracking back towards the goal square. Heads in that direction. He was out of position with the kick. Rutten. Johnson almost stole it. Minus score to the D's. Tension and pressure continue to mount. Chris Johnson, just for a heartbeat, his chance to kick his first score in league footy, but it just snuck away from him.
Well, he's been thrown up forward, trying to find a spark. Neil Danaher, Uze into the midfield. Aaron Davey gets an early touch. As you said, Jace, Melbourne's gun players need to stand up now.
Adelaide play the huddle successfully again. John Cock puts it out into the path of Rashudo. He's got 20 metres on McLean. Rashudo down the line. Their transition movement's been just so much superior to Melbourne's today. Biglands, Bassett into trouble. Snuck out the back door. Handball missed the body. They're somehow still in possession through Matner. Perry on the overlap. Burton inside 50. Skipworth the chance. Bell comes across. He's been impressive today, has Daniel Bell. A career high 17 possessions for him. We'll have a throw in inside Adelaide's forward 50. We've played 2 minutes in the final term. Here's Kevin Bartlett.
Well done by Brock McLean then too. He chased Rashudo out from the kick out, and then he did the chasing on the defensive 50 as well. So that young man is going to warm the heart of Neil Danaher. Here's Brown. Squeezed up on the boundary line, round the corner, standing his ground very strongly that time for Melbourne. Now they've paid the mark, now they've paid the advantage, and Bell goes low towards Miller. Didn't quite hit the target, uses some good body strength, puts himself over the ball, has to tap it out. He's looking for Bell again. He claimed he was pulled off the ball. Here's Goodwin. Tunnel balls it out of the legs, kicked off the ground by Uze, taken away that time by Armstrong as Melbourne, again, just with a bit of spring in the feet as Motlop has booted 3 goals, hammers it back, Robertson! Well, he hasn't been the force he was last week against St Kilda when he booted 6 goals. He's really struggled today to have a contribution. He's had it 9 times. He's only had the 1 scoring shot, which is a behind. But what a team-lifting kick this would be for Russell Robinson. 52 goals for the season. They trail by 18 points. This to get the Demons within 2 straight kicks. There's the shot as Robinson. Way off target. Not even close. And through for a behind. 2 behinds of Russell Robinson. 1 in the 3rd quarter, now 1 in this last term. John Cock to bring the ball back into play. Finds Hart. He's on his way to 300 games. Finds Dowdy, gives it across to the magic man. McLeod with a short skip, hammers the ball in, looking for Perry. On the stretch, couldn't take it. Welsh from behind is bouncing. What a goal! Kicked off the ground. Was it kicked off the ground and it bounced through? It's hit the post. It has hit the post. He was caught in 2 minds, Chris. He was going to let it go. Then at the last minute, it looked like he went to get his foot to the ball. Let's have a close look at this. It bounced on the line, then got his foot to the ball.
And hit the post.
What a comedy of errors. But a chance for Melbourne. Big kick in. Big ball. Taken away by Bizzle. Great hands by McLean. Finds the runner Brown. Motlop stands on 50. Robertson, the acrobat, couldn't take it. Back kicked the ball in the arms of Hart. Does a 360. Cool under pressure. That's why he's been one of the greats for the Crows. Taken away by Bock. Bassett relishing the run across half back towards centre wing. Armstrong appealing for the free kick. It goes to the Crows. Non-stop action like throwing a ball against a brick wall. It keeps coming back. Shirley hammers the ball in. Tyson Edwards pounces on it. Tyson Edwards kicks a goal.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer goes hand in hand with the greatest sporting apparatus ever invented, the remote control. All the exercise a bloke needs without getting off the couch. From cricket to golf to aerobics to fishing to aerobics to racing and back to aerobics. Yep, I'd love to mow the lawns right now, but my hands are full. Remote control in one, big cold beer in the other. And the best cold beer is Vic, Victoria Bitter.
Tyson Edwards celebrates his 29th birthday with a crucial goal. We speak of taking chances. He's kicked 13 goals, 2 for the season. Margin out to a game-high 24 points. These must respond. Maloney slips away through a tackle. High ball towards half-forward. Holland versus Rutten. Pitches in front of them both. They fist towards the boundary line. Goodwin there to gather for the Crows. Handball into the path of Rutten. Mattner lays a screen. Rutten keeps it alive. Momentarily, we'll have a throw in on centre wing. Melbourne must attack from here. They trail by 24 points. Plenty of time remaining. We've played but 6 minutes in the final term rather. As Bigland's got it down, but straight to Godfrey. Towards half forward, Ward attacked it. Got it to Maloney. He's driven into the turf by Robert Shirley. Ward put his body in, as did Dowdy. Free kick going Melbourne's way. Ward just got there first and caught one in the back. Dowdy didn't see it that way. Ward gets up a bit sore. Driving tackle from Shirley. And then Ward and Dowdy, a good collision. Inside 50, punched away from Miller. At ground level, Rashudo. Through goes Godfrey. That was ugly. Free kick to Mark Rashudo. Hit over the football. Wall one high. Won't worry him one bit. Out to Johncock. He's broken away on centre wing. An exciting inclusion over the last fortnight. Johncock can go all the way. He runs to 50, sums it up, and then kicks into Clint Bizzle. It ricochets. It's still there for Skipworth. He's under pressure. Ferguson comes in. Bizzle trying to get it to the line. Johncock lurking, trying to create something. In the end, he runs out of room. Throw in 15 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Graham Johncock kicking himself.
Crowd favourite, no doubt, Graham Johncock. Second game back, plenty of run and drive off the half-back flank. Crowd love him here at AAMI Stadium. Didn't come off on that occasion, but he'll be an important player for the Crows.
Biglands down to Goodwin, was slick. Kick across the face of goal, through for a minor score.
That boundary throw-in, that's happened all day. The Adelaide ruckmen have taken the front position, Chris, and have absolutely controlled the ball from those stoppages.
Yeah, real strength. Ben Hudson, Rhett Biglands, both with good games today. Give their on-ballers plenty of look at the footy. Crows winning the clearances 37-24.
Wheatley to bring the ball back into play. Goes straight up the ground, looking for White. Takes it on the stretch, gives it across to Godfrey. Didn't take it cleanly. There's clean hands. Great players never fumble. Always take with one grab. Rashudo stands and delivers. Wheatley tried to tickle the ball up. Welsh was desperate. Uze had it and lost it. Good second effort. The acting skipper today fights hard across half back. Taken by Armstrong. 71 plays 46. Melbourne trail by 25 points. 9-17 plays 7-4. Here's Miller. Strong arm tactics on the boundary line. Been pinched this time by Burton. Just wobbles the kick forward. Here's a high flyer's Hetchel. Couldn't take it on the second grab. Rashudo tried to bullock his way through. This time, Maloney lifting his ratings in this last term. So's Armstrong for Melbourne. Some young legs starting to fire up. Big ball. Bassett reads it well. On the burst, on the charge. Rushes out of half-back flank. Didn't quite hit a target. Mattner loves the run with the ball. He's a thumping kick as well. Look at Mattner go. Puts the foot on the accelerator. Keeps on going. Rockers the ball inside 50. Now he's gone too far. It's a free kick downfield.
Downfield.
Being held. Bizzle was holding Perry. And he's going to take the free kick 20 metres out, directly in front.
Well, Clint tries to explain what went wrong. 50 metres off the ball, he holds Ian Perry. And had a pretty reasonable day, the Sarge.
Kicked one goal in that second term. He also hit the post, behind in the third quarter. Important kick for the Crows. He just stabs at it. Hammers it home.
Incredible, but true. Harvey Norman's price breakthrough. This is hot. Brand new compact notebook for an amazing $9.84 after cashback. That's right, this is the hottest deal in town. A brand new compact notebook for an incredibly low $9.84 after cashback. Or this red hot Olympus digital SLR camera at an amazing $9.99. Buy what the professionals use for only $9.99. Save $352. Get into Harvey Norman now for the hottest deals in town. Don't miss out. And remember, we won't be beaten on price.
Ian Perry's second goal extends a margin of 31 points. Adelaide kicked the last 4 after being challenged midway through that third term by Melbourne. They've found another gear, and Melbourne yet to be able to respond. White the backhanded tap. Edwards having an influence. Bock dribbles towards the line as Rashudo comes off for a spell. No one ready to replace him yet. He looks around. Scott Thompson emerges from the dugout now. Rashudo, 18 possessions, second only to Simon Goodwin for Adelaide. Goodwin with 25, while Brown has 21 for Melbourne. Biglands took possession. Here's Goodwin again. Been fantastic today. Skipworth been busy. Has got busier as the game's gone longer. Perry off the hands of Burton, throw in. Melbourne's last goal coming at the 9-minute mark of the third term. Shannon Motlop, we've now played 12 minutes in the last. The problems they've had in finding avenues to goal all afternoon really telling in the last half an hour of football. Bell, Godfrey, wide in close to Brown. Miller's in front and takes the mark. Looks for the next link in the chain. Not much on for him at the moment. Holland offers a half lead to the wing. Oh. Miller offers a half kick to the wing, and Thompson picks it off. Switches inboard. Edwards getting a real appetite for some hard work. John Cock, an X-factor in this side, inside 50. Bizzle comes out and takes it on his chest. The D's need a goal. They need to string a couple together in a hurry. Rigoni, they've just got to roll the dice and take some chances. Will require some courageous running from here, some hard work. As Godfrey comes off for a spell, just replaced by Reid.
Haven't been able to get the ball through the corridor today, Melbourne, at all. Preferred to go wide, chip the ball around. It's a long way home here at Amy if you're going to do that. And the Crows have just denied them the corridor. Certainly won the majority of the ball in the midfield.
It's been a safety first option for much of the day, but that's got to go out the window now when you're 5 goals down at the 13-minute mark of the last term. Robertson will bring it inboard. Chris Johnson on the left boot, goes long and high. Davey inside 50, lurking at the back of the contest. It spills to White. He ran over the top of it. Biglan's committed the body. Won himself a free kick, advantage paid. John Cock, Goodwin can sweep it to McLeod. Back to John Cock. Adelaide's runners linking beautifully. And here's Perry, forward of the wing. He's got Dowdy over the top running into space. He's covered by Brown, so he'll go shorter. Henschel ended up with it in his hands. Now Welsh steps around Wheatley. On the left, inside 50. Misses a target, it could work out. Picked up by Shirley. High ball, back towards the square. It's still there. Off the hands of Thompson. He snaps it behind. His second for the afternoon.
Yeah, once again, Crows finishing the quarter strongly as they have done right throughout this game. Such superior fitness. That'll be a strength coming into September. Melbourne, gallant, but just out of legs and out of options.
Melbourne haven't won a game since round 12. That was against Collingwood, the Gloucester, St Kilda, Fremantle, Sydney, Port Adelaide, Brisbane and West Coast. They've been brave today. But the Crows just keep on coming. Relentless. Henschel is marked on 50. The lead by 32 points. 78 plays 46. 28 scoring shots to 11. Trent Henschel kicked 14 goals for the season. fancies his chances, Chris.
Loves kicking a goal, knows where they are, need to be his best kick, but certainly not without a chance.
So the young man is going to kick from right on 50. Gives it everything he's got. Doesn't leave anything behind. And through for a minor score.
Melbourne will have a look at the video, just see their foot skills as what let them down. Just haven't been able to hit a target. Play a high possession game, chip the ball around a lot. Their inability to hit targets on a regular basis has cost them dearly.
I think this young man's got a future. Young Chris Johnson looking this time for Robertson. On the stretch, couldn't take it. Finally forced over the line by Philip Reid.
Exactly what you're talking about, Chris.
Yeah, and just know, I mean, if you're going to play that style, you've got to hit them. Otherwise, you need some runners. And Jace, you said in the pre-match, they need some hard running from behind that maybe comes unrewarded at times, but no run from defence from Melbourne creates the problems.
White that time was able to get across into the front position, get his hands on the ball. So it's a free kick, and it's going to Goodwin. He's had a big game, 27 possessions. He's kicked 2 goals for. Goes short and finds that man Henschel. So we'll give him another crack at it, Chris. A little bit closer this time.
Yeah, and be keen to have another crack at it too. But there's the difference between the two teams. As Rhett Vigilance comes from the ground, he's had a good day as well. Ben Hudson comes back on. But a couple of options up forward for Simon Goodwin. Henschel on the lead, Scotty Welsh as well. Multiple options, mobile forwards for the Crows. Not the same for the Demons.
45-degree angle, Henschel. You'll get a reaction from the crowd if you can pop it through. Amy Stadium packed with Crows supporters. He's pushed it left, and you can hear the groans go around the stadium. Through for a minor score.
Well, it's been their weakness of the day, Adelaide. Their shots on goal, 10-20. But Melbourne's turnovers are what's cost them, as we said, and they've turned it over 20 times to Adelaide's 9. Adelaide's ball efficiency has really been a strength this year.
And the Crows good enough to make them pay. Nathan Brown. He's got a game-high 24 possessions for Melbourne. Back in the side after illness last week, finds Rigoni. He's back in for the first time since round 6, collected 20 touches. Armstrong, another to return to the side, gives it to Wheatley. Brown, centre-half forward. It's been a tough day at the office for Russell Robertson. Here's Ben Hart, bumped out of the way by Nicholson. Socket clear by Davey. Chance for Reid at 50. Uncertain of his options. Steps inside the Henschel tackle. Does kick it. Goes to the top of the square. Uze, Robertson, McLean there. Ricocheted off Shirley, came back to him. Dowdy, now Bassett off half-back. Into open space. That man Goodwin, what a day he's had. Maloney confronts him. Links up with Perry. Maloney will get it back for the D's. Could go down the line to McLean, who's worked hard. From 50, McLean will get run down. Happy birthday, Marty Matner. Free kick will come back to him. Playing game number 52 today. And he has blossomed. Came off the rookie list midway through 2002. Faded in 2003 and looked to be at the crossroads. Had a back injury early last year, then held his spot, and Chris has held it ever since.
No doubt. And that is Martin Matner, bread and butter. Loves that tackling backbone of his game, and Neil Craig has really made him blossom.
John Cock, bit of space junk. Henschel came over the top, did well. Still there for the Crows. Thompson links up with Henschel again. Steps inside Armstrong. Spears to 50 and hits a target. Skipworth goes to space. Welsh tracking back towards the square. Back to Edwards, and he can celebrate a birthday with a goal. Second for the final term, and he rams it home. Crows get the job.
Stand by. Here's something that sounds really good. Free. But what could sound better? Free. Free. Yes, with the A-Primus broadband bundle of joy you get. Broadband modem free. Plus right now a free 2.4 GHz Daro cordless phone. But wait, yes, there is more. $0 broadband setup. Just bundle your home phone with A-Primus broadband, and you're free. Call Primus now and let's get better connected. Yeah, baby.
Another win. And second spot with the Crows.
31 scoring shots to Adelaide today. They lead by 40 points. Certainly a lesson there for Brock McLean. At the highest level, you can't dilly-dally. You've got to accelerate. He'll learn. He's one of the Demons' best young players. Ball smashed away. Here's a chance for Hudson, who's very quick for a big man. It's a good one. Perry sets himself from behind, couldn't take the mark. Nathan Brown, Rigoni. Across half back to Maloney, enjoying his best quarter, but his kicking has let him down somewhat today, Maloney. Usually he's a thumping kick and always kicks the ball long. Today he's gone short.
He hasn't gone long at all today. I mean, frustrating. Started the year off beautifully, maybe running out of legs towards the end of the season, but has a strength in his ability to kick the ball 60 yards plus. Haven't seen it today.
Again, winning that tap down from the boundary throw in. Both Biglands and Hudson really have worked their way to the front of the packs today. Here's Johnson. Dispossessed that time by Riley. Tyson Edwards, one of the big guns for the Crows. Doughty, one of their hard workers, forces a turnover. Out of bounds on the full.
Been a great example of the Crows' relentlessness. Game is all but over, but they tackle hard, they chase hard. Those 1%ers, the strength of their game, continue right at the end.
Bock runs to the edge of the centre square. Just under 5 minutes left. Chance for a high flyer from behind. That time it was Welsh, couldn't take it. Now he can. Weaves his way out of trouble. Does the soft shoe shuffle and a quick snap. Great goal by Riley.
.3 litre quad cam V6 engine and constant all-wheel drive. Toyota Kruger, all the power to all the wheels all the time. Imagine what you could do with that.
Disappointing final term for Melbourne. The margin's blown out to 46 points, and for those who won't have seen the game and will just see the scores tonight, they'll have figured it to be a walk in the park for the Adelaide Crows, but really for 3 quarters it's been anything but that. Been in control for much of the day, but the D's hung in bravely for 3 quarters, but overrun in this final term. Riley to Rashudo. Bell went back with the flight. One of the positives for Melbourne today. Bizzle, Nicholson, Rigoni, and now Brown. Out wide. Maloney outnumbered. Ball finds its way to the line. We speak of the positives, Chris. We certainly talk about Ryan Ferguson's had a good day down back, had a lot of work to do. Daniel Bell's had a good afternoon. Shannon Motlop in his first game back for a long time. Kicked 3 goals.
Had some positives. Melbourne, no doubt about that. Had a good attitude too. Came to play. Backs against the wall. They have come up against a team at near full strength, full of confidence, on a winning streak. In front of a capacity crowd at Amy Stadium. That is not a task that is easy to come away with 4 points with. Melbourne have been gallant. The Crows have been better.
Johnson and Hudson. Adelaide away from the stoppages again. They've started to get on top in the clearances the longer this game's gone on. They've dominated them after half-time. Perry inside 50. Welsh versus Wheatley. Under pressure, Welsh taken at ground. The Melbourne defence has been under siege this afternoon. 65 inside 50s to 32. The ball's been at their end of the ground an awful lot.
It certainly has in Adelaide with 14 marks inside that attacking 50. So dominant. Melbourne only 3.
Hudson and Johnson again. Skipworth dishes it off. Rashuto in close. From the boundary, snapshot at goal by Thompson. Results in his 3rd behind for the afternoon.
Again, the Crows finding ways to win without their star players having big games. Goodwin's been important. Had contribution from Rashudo and Edwards and McLeod, but they haven't been the stars. Skipworth's been good. Perry's been admirable. But their backline again, led by Nathan Bassett and Russell Robertson, far superior.
Scott Thompson playing against his old side, Melbourne. Taken away by Bock at centre-half back. Finds Henschel. He's on the half-forward line, chips in. Rashudo's the target, had him in his sights. Nearly took it on the second grab. McGregor. Johnson. Oh, poor kick. has let Melbourne down today. Their kicking has put him under a lot of pressure. Doughty, that time, lack of talk. One of the rare occasions today that the Crows haven't made something positive out of nothing. Now they can, because Riley is going to kick. No, he's not. He was going for goal number 2 in this final term, and he has missed the sitter. Young man had a couple of goals kicked on him early in the game by Motlop.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of footy either lately, KB. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench, certainly in the Crows' best 22. Michael Doughty probably preferred for him at this stage.
McLeod testing himself as a high flyer. Aaron Davey wants to draw an opponent. Ball was not a good handball because Philip Reid had to wait for it. He had to slow down. It wasn't out in front. And that's one of those skill errors. Ball in front of Philip Reid, then he can take the ball without breaking stride, heading towards goals. Not the case. Here's Burton, back edge of the centre square, chips it short. Davey trying to make amends, runs hard. Doughty wrapped up in the tackle by McLean. Forces the ball up. 12-22-94 the Crows. Melbourne 7-4-46. 7 straight defeats for Melbourne. And 7 wins on the trot for that man there, Neil Craig.
Club record winning streak continues. Here's Rashudo. Burton pushed off his kick inside 50. Minute and a half remaining. Thompson versus Johnson. Thompson slung to ground. Nicholson takes it to the line. Road ahead for Adelaide. Got the showdown next week against Port. They face Collingwood at Amy Stadium, and then finish with a round 22 blockbuster against West Coast at Subi. While for the D's, who'll slip to 9 and 10, they've got Geelong at Geelong, which is a ground they've got a terrible record at. The Bulldogs at the G and Essendon at the G to finish.
Beauty with Adelaide's draw 2 all Saturday games. So good preparation. Chance for Neil Craig to have his team cherry ripe for finals. Just easing off their training now after a tough month on the track. This team is primed for some success.
Umpire's whistle goes. Free kick to Melbourne. It's going to Armstrong. 16 touches for him in his first game since round 6. Out in front of Miller. Work hard today for his 11 possessions and 6 marks. Final minute. The ball finds its way to the line. Rock McLean had a mountain of work to get through today. It'll be Johnson versus Hudson, maybe one last time this afternoon. Hudson went looking for Edwards, who farmed it out. Umpire said he threw it out.
I think so.
Free kick to Maloney. Maybe a chance for the D's to get a late consolation goal. Goes towards Robertson. Got rid of his man, couldn't bring in the mark. Bassett bangs it on the boot back towards the wing. Maloney tries to smother the bounce. Perry, clever to Burton. Riley runs onto it. Perfect way for Adelaide to finish on a high here with 10 seconds remaining. Riley runs to 30 to ice the game. Thanks very much. He kicks his second.
We searched the country for 100 hopefuls and found something way better.
The top 150.
7:30 Tuesday and Wednesday, the talent keeps coming.
And coming, and coming, and coming, and coming. Ain't no mountain. 25,000 came to audition.
Tuesday, see who made the grade.
Nice job, mate.
And find out who got the job.
I don't know what happened then, but it was not good.
Meet Idol's top 150, 7:30 Tuesday.
5 goals to none this quarter by Adelaide. They lead by 54 points. 13-22-100. The Demons 7-4-46. They led by 3 points at quarter time, the Crows. 15 points at half time. 19 points at three-quarter time. But the Demons unable to halt what's been a rampaging Crows in this last term. They'll finally win by 54 points. 8 individual goal kickers. 2 goals to Tyson Edwards, 2 goals to Scotty Welsh, 2 goals to Ian Perry, 2 to Brent Riley and 2 to Simon Goodwin as they've shared their goals around. And for Melbourne, just the 5 individual goal kickers. 3 to Shannon Motlop, who kicked 2 goals in that first quarter, and singles to Uze, Godfrey, White and Aaron Davey. But the last quarter, just a magnificent performance by the Adelaide Crows, snuffing out any chance. And Melbourne's only second goalless quarter for 2005, so well done to the Adelaide Crows. On the scoreboard all day, Chris, they had the scoring opportunities. They just couldn't put Melbourne away because Melbourne was dogged, but they just didn't have any firepower.
KB felt like they always had Melbourne at arm's length. Wasn't good for the Crows early. Looked a little bit flat. Had a tough game against Sydney last Saturday night here at Amy Stadium, but as is their way, they finished strong, full of running, even contribution all over the ground. A happy team now firmly entrenched in second spot, knowing they've got a home prelim final up their sleeve if they win their first. And they are on for a big, big September, when no one would have given them a chance at the start of the year. They have defied the critics. Melbourne, who look to have it all before them, their season is in absolute disarray.
Well, Ben Hart's been a part of 2 successful premiership campaigns. Is he on his way to a third? Playing game number 292 today. Here he is with Glenn Manton.
Thanks, Jason. The boys are just wondering, are you guys on the way to your third premiership in terms of your career?
Who knows? Look, today was okay. You know, it's a long way to go yet this year, and it's a different type of game again today. It was pretty tight and hard, 1-on-1, and that's the type of game you're going to have to play in final. So it gives us a good, good run into it.
Viewers mightn't understand that the boundary rider actually gets to choose who he chooses after the game to speak to. I've chosen you, Ben, because you're part of a great back six. You're really working hard together. It's not about statistics. It's about how you play as a team, and your back six gels very nicely.
Yeah, we've got some flexibility down there, and some old heads as well. Myself, Bass, and Andy McLeod when he's down there is great, and a bit of youth and some big tall blokes as well. So that's handy, and you know, it's going okay, and it helps with the push up the ground, which we had again today.
Well, mate, I'll allow you to go on old heads aside, go on old legs and give them a bit of ice, mate. Thanks, James.
Ben Hart with Glenn Manton. And we might say statistics don't count for much in defence. The one that really does count, they're the #1 defence in the competition. And history shows that #1 defences have a pretty good strike rate of winning premierships. I'm not saying that's the case for the Adelaide Crows this year, but it certainly puts you in the mix.
Certainly does. Ben Rutten, another great day. Nathan Bock was fantastic at centre half back. So it is the strength of this club, is their defence. And they've got a reasonable midfield and a forward line as well.
42,843 at Amy Stadium this afternoon. They saw a great contest for 3 quarters before Adelaide put their foot on the gas. In the end, it was the Crows. 13-22-100. Too good for Melbourne. 7-4-46 on Saturday afternoon football.
Who are you? I'm the doctor who's trying to save your son. You're the mom who's letting him die. Clarification. It's a beautiful thing.
How do you cure a patient when his mother won't allow you?
Don't. I can't let you do this.
How do you save a patient when you don't know what's killing him?
And maybe you're wrong. Maybe it's not a pesticide.
How do you get the answers when all you find are questions?
You're killing him!
See why everyone is watching House. 8:30 Wednesday on 10.
Cheers, mate. Jeez, I wouldn't camp there if I were you.
There's drop bears.
Drop bear?
They're like a bigger, meaner sort of koala bear.
Then they drop from the tree.
Yeah.
And then grab your head by the head.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's a disaster. We've bled enough. So what do? We get the biggest retailer to hold a massive sale.
This one saves $7.85 and $100 cash back. Plus beds 98, 5 pieces $9.99. Mattresses from 95. The Cornu.
The new hot, fresh toasted subs are here, like the chicken and bacon ranch sub. Toasted hot, inside and out. Subway, eat fresh.
You want anything from the shops?
No, thanks.
Yeah, very popular too if you're celebrating Ford's 80th anniversary in Australia with Falcon Mark II XT, winner of Australia's Best Family Car Award, with Auto and Edge at $31,990 drive away. Only for a limited time and only at your Ford dealer.
It's the Casual Living end-of-season outdoor clearance sale. Save up to half price on a superb outdoor setting, but only while stocks last.
It's Casual Living for
Keswick, Marion, Enfield and West Lakes Mall.
The 2005 Toyota AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by our broadcast partners. Toyota, footy, oh what a feeling. Bundaberg Rum, we live for the footy. Chic Quattro, no razor shaves closer or smoother than Chic Quattro. Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning. And Red Rooster, the real roast taste.
Saturday afternoon football at Amy Stadium. It was the Crows at every change. They led by 3 points, 15 points, 19 points before the last term. They added 5 goals, 7 to 2 behinds to run out comfortable 54-point winners. 5 players sharing 2 goals apiece, while Shannon Motlop booted 3 on his return for Melbourne. 54-point winners Adelaide, to improve their record in season 2005 to 14-5. Melbourne slipped to 9-10. Let's head down to the winners' rooms. Glenn Manton with the winning coach, Neil Craig. We'll come back to Neil shortly. Just before we do, Chris, 14-5 for Adelaide now. Things would have to go horribly wrong for them not to get second spot and a home final. But for Melbourne, they are really in a dogfight now to get those last 1 or 2 spots inside the 8.
You've got to think they're gone. Given their injury worries, it's a long way back for Melbourne. You're right with the Crows, secure now in second spot. Neil Craig can really manufacture their lead up to the finals. He won't take any risks. He won't put players away either. So the Crows in a beautiful position to attack a premiership. And that's what they've got to start thinking about now.
Are they thinking about it? Let's find out. Here is Neil Craig with Glenn Manton.
Thank you, Jason. Neil, it was quite simply a good win, but let's be honest, Melbourne, they took it up to you.
Oh, they were good. Glenn, they were very good. And, you know, it's the sort of game that we really need. And it flowed a bit on from last week, the style of football. You know, to play against Sydney with that similar style and to get another opportunity to practice playing against that style this week was exactly what we needed. So, yeah, and Melbourne should be commended, and their coach should be commended, because of where they're at with the injuries they've got. So, you know, some real fighting spirit in their club.
What about your own coaching at the moment, Neil? Many people have been talking about the highs and lows in terms of your training, the loads that you're putting on the players. Is it easy streets now for the players on this training track?
No, we've got about 1 more week, Glenn, to go, where we just keep boring in and load them up. And we've done that now for the last, well, we started the last 2 weeks in particular. So, but that's okay. They'll be all right. They'll have to play tired. That's what we'll do.
Now, you seem to have a great balance, particularly in your back half. You must be very, very pleased with the way the players can gel together on each and every occasion, with some players having great days, others having lower days, but really it seems to be a very balanced team.
Yeah, it's been one of our strengths all year. We haven't necessarily relied on, you know, 4 or 5 individuals. So, you know, if someone's been not quite on top of their game, other guys have been able to pick the rope up and you know, and shoulder that responsibility. And it's really important in our club we do that. I think to me, that's team footy, you know, and it becomes enjoyable footy too when you know that when you can trust your teammate.
And finally, moving forward, where's the trust going to come next week in the form of Port Adelaide, Adelaide? Where can you find a winning edge?
Oh no, those games, Glenn, are back in that'd be Collingwood, Carlton. You know, that's the sort of game it is. So it'll be played on the day. I mean, all games are, of course, but. Don't worry about the premiership table. It'll be a great day for South Australian football.
Well, mate, go and enjoy the game with or I should say the after effects of the game with your team, and good luck for next week.
Yeah, good on you, Glenn. Looking forward to it.
Neil Craig there, their side goes to 14-5. Let's take a look at Adelaide's run home. We mentioned the showdown next week against Port Adelaide. What a beauty that will be.
followed up by a round 21 clash back here against Collingwood, and then that round 22 blockbuster against the West Coast Eagles. They look pretty good for second spot. Melbourne, their future's a little bit less certain. They need to get some of those players back. Obviously, there's some positives to take out of a game today, and it's not often you say that after a 9-goal loss. The D's have got Geelong next week at Skilled Stadium, a venue that hasn't been kind to them, the Bulldogs, and then Essendon. So a tough 3 weeks ahead for the Melbourne Footy Club. But as I say, a positive in front, 9 goals, loss, but they can still take something out of this game.
Yeah, look, and even at full strength, those 3 games loom as tough ones for Melbourne. But Neil Craig, beautiful preparation now. All games are on Saturdays, so he can just manufacture his team nicely. And as he said, the strength of that team is that they can win different ways every week. Everybody's contributing.
One other game around 19 action on this afternoon. Replay scheduled later tonight on Fox Footy. Bulldogs and the Eagles at the MCG. If you don't want to know the score, look away now. Well, 42,843 fans in at a perfect day for football here at Amy Stadium, and they saw the Adelaide Crows lead at every change. 3 points at quarter time, 15 points at half time, 19 points at three-quarter time before taking control in the final term to run out 54-point winners. Perfect game for the Adelaide Crows, as Neil Craig said. They needed a good hit out.
Yeah, absolutely. Following up from last week's win against the Swans, needed another toughie, got one, and they've certainly got one next week in the showdown.
Edwards booted 2 goals on his birthday, Welsh 2, Perry 2, Riley 2 and Goodwin 2, while Shannon Motlop booted 3 for Melbourne. That just about wraps it up from Saturday afternoon football here at Amy Stadium. Jason Bennett on behalf of Chris McDermott, Kevin Bartlett, Glenn Manton. Good afternoon.